this. Click this. Then I click this.
Peace to the family. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Talk to me. How's it looking? Is it looking clear? I see y'all up in the building. Man, cut it out. It's 12 minutes off the hour. Knock it off. Knock it off, people. This is a tough crowd.
They impatient.
And we was actually here on time. We just didn't put the live. I was finishing up cooking for the family because I was too close to the end, too close to the finish line. So I made some black quinoa with kamut pasta mixed with bell peppers, onions, plum tomato, and okra. Okra for the folic acid. You know, they're constantly, for maternity sake, they're normally giving sisters, amongst many other pills, folic acid pills, and that's for the development of the child's bones and their brain. It also is for the development of the adult bones and brain, but for some reason, we strictly enforce it when it comes to babies coming into this world. So we have two primary sources of folic acid that we could definitely get from dark green leafy vegetables, one of which being okra. Okra is high in folic acid. And again, for those of you that are about to have children or have babies or conceiving, it'd be our best interest to get the folic acid from the okra. And then, of course, we got the kamut grain for the kamut pasta because it's high in manganese. And the manganese is anti-arthritis. The manganese is also good for the bones. The manganese is also good for blood sugar levels. For those of you that may be suffering from forms of diabetes, pre-diabetic or diabetes 2 particularly, it'd be very much in your interest to get some kamut. And then, of course, there is what else we said we have in there. The red banana is great. I'm eating that on the side, and that has pathogenic acid in it, and that's good for blood circulation and energy metabolism. So everything your body needs to do to bring about change from one day to the next, the energy that's necessary in the process of carrying oxygen from one place to the next via the red blood cells, respiring, getting rid of the carbon dioxide, getting rid of the waste. I just wanted to complete my thought. Yes, I definitely want the food. You want to get that from your pathogenic source would be the red banana. The red banana is higher in that than any other plant. Actually, lutein. The red banana is higher in lutein. Pardon me. The pathogenic acid, actually, you can get that from the portobello, which is very high. But there was some of that in the red banana. You can get that from the portobello mushroom, the pathogenic acid, for energy metabolism and to carry the oxygen or fortify the red blood cells that carry oxygen from one place to the next, because one of the leading causes for disease is a lack of blood circulation or the inability to get the oxygen to the place that is suffering. Because wherever there's an ailment or something's infringing or impeding on your health, normally you want more red blood cells over there, and normally they're having the difficulty getting there. So that pathogenic acid comes from portobellos. But the lutein, okay, you want to get that from, or spell Lutein, but it's pronounced with a D. The lutein, you want to get that from the red banana because there's more concentrations of that in the red banana, red Ecuadorian banana, than there is in the yellow banana, which is the big yellow banana. You don't want it super acidic. You want to get the baby banana or you want to get the red banana, okay? But the red banana has higher concentrations in vitamin A, good for the eyes, and also lutein. Lutein, you want to get that because with the lutein, that is your energy metabolism. That is the thing that's going to also help you make change. It's also going to protect the bones in the body. Just giving you some clarity and just allowing y'all to come into the building to, you know, let y'all do what it do. Let y'all come in the building and we're going to talk. We're going to get it in. We got an amazing host on our side. Of course, you know, Tommy and I, we split the screens. But just wanted to open up with some good stuff here.
That's good talk, man. I always admired you because there's a few things that you do better than me. Probably cook, keep a woman, and keep an audience. You do none of that shit. So I come to you and try to take notes. But to my audience, welcome, guys. You guys see I'm on the top. You see Brother Polite on the bottom. You see the chat room on the side. And you also see Team Green and Team Gray. If you are on Team Gray, your numbers will move. If you're on Team Green, your numbers will move. Team Green got caught last time right before they got to $1,000. I don't know how they beat them, but they beat them. So we'll go back and see what Team Gray do tonight and Team Green does. I love it, bringing you guys some good entertainment. We have no idea where this is going to go, but I saw a few things, and the brother and I talked and said, it's about time for us to get back together and speak a little bit and talk about what's going on in the world and give our opinions. And you guys know what happened with Brother and Polite and me. It could go well. It could go off the rails. Enjoy is a very good conversation. Am I right, brother?
This is an absolute fact. And on the last note, lutein is also good for the eyes, especially when you're aging, the eyes start breaking down, good for cataracts. Just want to throw it in there. I would feel incomplete if I didn't say it, because the red banana is eye food. So I'm just chiming in on a conversation that I was having with the community yesterday. A conversation that's done 150,000 views on Facebook thus far, and counting, and it hasn't been up for 24 hours yet. So I just want to thank the people for sharing the video. It was a live cooking demonstration. And if I wasn't doing this, I would have had the live cooking demonstration, but I would not want to be cut off if I was running late to come into this conversation. So I didn't do it. But that's what it is. Just wanted to add that there. But we don't know where this conversation is going to go. Brother Tommy hit me up. He said we passed due on another great bill, and the subject matter that he presented, I say, you know what? I like it. Generally, because of my approach and my brand, I don't deal with much current events just because of my brand disposition. So I may not comment on a movie per se. I may not comment on a Kanye West situation per se, or I may not go in elaborate detail unless I see something that's relevant that is not really being expounded upon, or a direction that many people may not be going with it. And then I get interest, but I don't want to be redundant. I don't want to say what everybody's saying. And if I feel kind of like where the popular consensus is going, then I'll leave that to everybody else to have that conversation. You don't need me to add on to the 50 other various videos with people saying somewhat similar things. Then I like to bring a different thing to the table. Oh, you're going to pardon me, because while Tommy is introducing this forum to the rest of y'all, I'm just being respectful because the rest of the family's going to cook. So I got to eat a little bit with them to show love.
All right.
How the meal came out.
Well, I'm a little confused though. You said like the food was only good for one ethnic group. That was weird. You said,
oh, what food was only good for what ethnic group? Oh,
it sounded like you said that last thing. You said it was good if you're Asian.
Well, I'll tell you this. Now that you say that, what I will say is this. Two main things that's disregarded when people speak about health. We got to be honest when we talk about health, meaning there's no exclusive curriculum, right, to the whole world when it comes to health, meaning someone can say, this food is good, everyone should eat it. And that's absolutely false. What you should do is get a serious allergy test or exam, because there's a lot of foods that we deem as good and necessary for you to eat. You may not know that you might be allergic to avocado, which is one of the main foods I would suggest to anybody in general. So one of the first things you should do is get an allergy test and a mineral test. You get the mineral test, just give them a hair sample, and we can see the minerals in your hair. And then get an allergy test. And once we get the allergy test and the mineral test, and then one heart test. Once we get those three combinations together, then we can more immediately address your issues, because the way one person arrives at cancer or diabetes doesn't necessarily mean another person arrived at cancer or diabetes. Second thing we got to take into consideration, which is what you just asked, race. The reason why race is important when it comes to food, because every race has a genetic affinity to the foods that grew up in the land that they are indigenous to. So therefore, there's a genetic affinity, there's a genetic connection to the foods that we eat. Take, for example, if you go to Thailand, their apple looks different. The food is going to grow based on the saliva that goes into the ground, the urine that goes into the ground, the fecal matter that goes into the ground, the horizontal gene transfer by way of conjugation, transformation, or transduction with species of the same ecosystem, share DNA inadvertently just because they're breathing in and living in the same environment. And so Mother Nature takes in DNA day to day of every species that lives in its environment, and they create the food to cater specifically to the interests and needs of the animals and the people thereof that are indigenous to that land. So when those people wind up on another place of the planet, and you take an Advil or you take whatever's culturally bound to that specific part of the world, it doesn't necessarily mean it will do as good for you as the food that would be grown that corresponds with your genome. It's a concept that's been disregarded for quite some time. And also blood type. Like, I'm a blood type O. I got no business drinking orange juice, acidic anyway, but I got no business drinking orange juice. I got no business consuming wheat. Because when my blood sees it into the system, when my body sees it, it sees it as an immune response, not a digestive response. It doesn't see it as something that needs to be digested. It sees it as an enemy when it comes into the body. And that's the blood type. So the blood type also has to be catered to when we eat. And so we got to eat according to our blood type, and we got to eat according to our race. That is not a racial premise. That is just an actuality. We have nature taking in samples of us every single day. And that's what made it hard when human beings stepped out the ecological system and became so advanced, because larger portions of our DNA is no longer being accounted for. So nature can't really cater to us as much when we in concrete jungles. It's real talk.
We need to reel him in. But the real that doesn't get out. He like Tiger Woods with a backache. He'll get off course in a minute. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead, though. Let's bring it in while he's eating a little bit. Let me give you guys a little bit of update of what we are going to be discussing. We have 3 main topics, and we would love it for you guys in the comment section of each one of these to be able to get in on these conversations as well. 1, I want to hear the brothers' comments, and I want to hear you guys' comments as well about the royal wedding. 2, you know, Brother Polite took some pictures that offended people because they said, how could you let the non-Wakandan woman wear Wakandan gear? And then I've seen pictures of white men wearing non-Wakandan gear, marrying non-Wakandan women. And so there's no backlash. So that's going to fall into the whole royal wedding discussion. And then we're going to go to another one, which is, I think all of these are very important. Mm-hmm. But this one goes back to the idea of integration. And I know a lot of people fall on different sides of the integration argument. Some say that integration is bad. Some say integration is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about all of these discussions. We're going to debate them back and forth. And also we're going to pay attention to what you guys write as well. So continue to join us and make sure you stay active in the chat room. What you see above my head over there on the right, I think, is the amount of viewers that are over there on Sotomayor TV 2. It says we're over 1,000, so that's awesome. What you also see is a chat room, and you see these 2 things. We have what we call on our side is Team Gray and Team Green. Now, they both appear gray right now, but the more that they put over in gray goes to green. And if you want to help out each one of those, there are links inside of the description box at Sotomayor TV 2, where you can click on them and you can donate. And while Brother Polite is getting ready to start, I'm going to read what Team Gray has already done, because Team Green is only at 101, like we in LA. Let's go ahead and see what we have here. Don't say my name, please. Been listening since 2015. You're doing a great job of what you do. That is JB. He said, don't say his name. I'll call him JB. Let's go to KG says, you're doing great work, my man. K Grove from Atlanta. Also, didn't you play basketball at North Gwinnett? Nope. I played at Central Gwinnett, but that was close. Let's see. Ian, Tommy, this is Zach Stoner. Wait a minute. Zach Stoner's show was heart-wrenching. Thank you. I tried my best. Brother Polite, did you hear about the Zach Stoner, the brother who got shot in Chicago, the YouTuber?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it just happened last week. YouTuber used to do music and tried to, talk to all sides of the Chicago I guess, music scene, which is part gang and drug land as well. Got shot leaving a rap concert. Benny and Daddy says, "Hey Tommy, this is for the $1 challenge. I need to check out something." There goes $1. I told y'all about that when y'all sending $1, but y'all sending a long description or long words. Steve, you know, I don't know if I'm wrong for saying that, but it's just weird. Like the people who donate like $100, they don't say nothing. The motherfucker donate $1, that nigga got a whole paragraph, and I got to read this whole paragraph for a motherfucking buck. Not trying to be funny, but come on, dog, just be like, I love the show or whatever. Don't be sending me no buck and then writing this whole bunch of stuff. Well, I got to slow down. My man Michael Wood put 5 on it. Thank you very much. Let's see. William put 20 in there. Team Gray is start coming out the box nicely. Audience, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. It just seems like if you send $1, you shouldn't say that much. I'm not that I don't appreciate the dollar, but damn, well, I got to read all that damn writing. Green Ivy says, "Keep going, Tommy. Your work is important." It is seen backwards. Running know what he's talking about. Running and say nothing, but there you go. Have at it, nigga. That's how it's supposed to be. Paul said, "Here's another 10. This is donated in the Mary Tyler Moore name. Break it up in 1, 2, and 5 increments over the next couple of shows." I will not do that, but sounds good. Major says, "Here's some ice cream money for you and your beautiful daughter." That's all right. He put 10 on it.
Yo, Tommy, you didn't want to share the chat rooms?
Yeah, I'm finna put them up now. I'm finna get it up. It was hard for me to try to put it up, so it takes me a second. So when I get you to take it off my hands, I'm gonna fix it to where it's one on top of the other.
Well, I got it. I'll continue to build.
There you go. So go ahead and you can take it over from right now. Are you done eating? If you're done, you can take it over from right now.
No, I'm not. They don't have to wait for me to eat. I'll figure it out in the meantime, but I'll build with them while you get that going.
Go ahead. Y'all got me blocked over in y'all chat room, my main channel. I went over there trying to say something. It's blocked.
On your channel?
Yeah, it was on your channel. I'm blocked, man. I'm upset about that.
How the hell do I unblock it?
I can send you my link to my channel, and then I'll show you how to do it like real easy. I will have to email you the link to my channel.
How do you block? Ain't this a new YouTube channel?
No, it's an old YouTube channel. It must have been the last time we talked.
Yeah, we was banging.
Yeah, I think I remember what happened.
But I don't block people. Oh, I know what happened. Yeah,
you remember?
I know what happened. Yeah, that's one of my family did it.
But I emailed it to you, so all you'd have to do is click on that link, and then there's going to be a little flag by my name. And when you there's a little flag like on the right side that you click on that where it says, let me make sure I'm telling you how to do it right. Walk you through it.
Hold on, family. We're about to get it in.
So I had to use my backup. Okay. When you click on that link, you click on where it says about underneath my name, and there should be a little flag on the right, look like a little flag. You click on that, and you it'll probably say unblock, and you click that, and I'll be unblocked.
So you've been through this process before I take it.
Well, yeah, I have to unblock a lot of people because people come in my chat room and be like, "Oh, somebody blocked me accidentally." So I have to unblock them. And the only way I know how to unblock them is if they send me a link. So I would be remiss if I turned around and didn't do the same thing to you because I'd be cussing the people out for not sending me no link.
Okay, so I'm at about. What did you say to do after I get to about?
A little flag, like it looks like a little NASCAR flag or something, just a little gray flag. You see it?
I don't see the flag. I went to about. I'm about to share you what I see. Maybe that'll help.
Yep.
Okay. Hold on, family. We just want to get this right. All right, so here's the page I'm on.
Where it says stats and joined, and then there's like a little flag, and then
this flag right here. You see what I'm touching?
Is that a flag? Yes. Does it say blocked or unblocked there?
It just says report user.
Hold on a second. Maybe I'm at the wrong place. I haven't done this in a while. You know what? Let me block somebody right quick in my chat room. SMK, do you mind me blocking you? You know what? Kelly Brown Eyes, I'm going to block you right quick. Email. You don't even have to do that. I'm going to block you right quick. Give me 1 second.
Damn. I know they ain't feeling that.
Yeah, I have to make sure they don't get mad at me. Like, motherfucker, no, I don't need that. So let me see. I blocked her. Okay, there it is. Go back to my main page.
It
like
says home.
It's home. All right, now look where it says by my subscriptions. Is it a flag beside the subscriptions?
Subscribe.
Is there a little flag there?
Nope. You see what I see.
That's
see what the cursor is?
Because I can see it on hers now. And you're at home?
Yes, I clicked home and
on your screen I can barely see it.
I see subscribe. I don't see the block here.
Go back to the about.
Okay, going to about. About.
That little flag by the report. If you click that little flag by the report, click that flag.
Click it. Unblock user.
There you go.
All right, Tommy, behave, man.
I'll do my best, but that's not what I do well. Behaving is not what I do. But you go ahead and carry it now so I can get the chat rooms hooked up.
Okay.
You went right back to eating.
I pat myself on the back. All right. So, where do we start? Okay. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Will I debate his brother on the flat earth? I don't want to sound condescending, nor do I want to sound like I don't have confidence in Black people. This is what I want to tell you. I don't mind debating our people, but I don't, and this is not to speak to that brother that you just asked me about. I don't know him personally, and I don't think I ever had a conversation with him. I doubt I did. So what I want to say is, when I do conduct my next debate, it has to be people who have a decent following. Doesn't have to be as large as mine, but I would like to know that I'm debating somebody who has consistent income. And I said this before, and people thought I was playing myself when I was talking to the brother Lord Albert. I want to know that you have consistent income. I want to know that you are in a consistent relationship. Now, all the boxes don't have to be checked off.
I'm about to say, you don't, all these, I'm about to just get offline.
Now, all the boxes don't have to be checked off. And I mean, I got a friendship with Tommy Sotomayor, so he's an exception anyway to any of those things, because it wouldn't suffice, because I know where his integrity is as far as debate is concerned. He's only going to go but so far. So for other people, per my previous experiences, it behooves me to ferret through these various things. Like, do you have a consistent income? Do you have a consistent relationship? If you have children, are you taking care of your children? Now, people may say, man, what the hell is all this got to do with a debate? Well, if I'm going to debate somebody who's not seeing me at eye level, meaning you got your own world and large following or whatever you got, I got my own world and following, then I'm giving you a major donation by even having a conversation with you. And you may be more reckless because you don't have a woman by your side to say, come on, baby, get to bed. Stop making these trolling videos against his brother. Or you don't have children that you got to wind up taking care of. So you got extra time in your hands. You ain't got a job that you got to go into, or you don't got a business you got to constantly run. So I've learned when those boxes are not checked off, and I got 3 more boxes. When those boxes are not checked off, it tends to be a reckless Negro willing to say and get into anything, because let's be real, when you're living in poverty and you don't got much, you can put everything on the line because that's very little. When you got a lot, there's actually something on the line. Now, people say I'm talking condescending, but be that as it may, truth is truth. If you don't have something to really live for, and you don't feel like you got something to live for, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to be willing to die. That's how that works. So I don't want to be dragged into that kind of chaos no more. I want to deal with people who have a life, who have things that they feel are going good for them, so they have their limits to how far they're willing to go just to get some views. You know, people leave a debate and say, hey, I cursed them out and I talked all this trash. How? They don't care about the actual subject matter, or they're so invested in the personality of the person that they're debating. Their whole job is to speak vulgar and disrespectful, not because they're mad at you about your dissenting views per that which they teach. They're mad at you, the person, because they all invested into your life. Now they want to talk about your wife. Now they want to talk about your children. I don't want to be involved with none of that.
Well, that's why I'm one of those, and that's for the people who see right now. My chat room is up on the top by where I am. His chat room is up on the bottom where you are, and it was just funny. I was just reading a lot of what was being written by the people in your chat room before we've even started. We're quite cordial. We have topics already set, and I'm watching. Tammy, Coon, DJ Vlad said hello. I'm everything other than let's have a discussion. So I agree with what you're saying. That's why it's just hard to be around, to be perfectly honest, a lot of our people, because you have people who see two brothers just getting ready to have a discussion that they think is important, but you have a lot of people, and maybe I don't even want to get into that, but on the so-called pro-black and black side, all these people do is call each other names and try to get in your personal life. They never get into what the issue is. So if you're right on the issue, and my grandmother used to talk about this all the time. She said, it doesn't matter if a white man, she said, doesn't matter what people call you. It just matters if it's true or false. And she tells a story about this white man was on a train with this black dude. And the black dude was his first time being on a train. So he was looking out of the window and enjoying the view. So the white man told him, hey, look, you dumbass monkey looking nigger, put your head back in the window before you get your black ass head cut off by the tunnel they were going through. So the black dude turned around and looked at the white dude and said, who you calling up? Her point was, if he'd have just took his head and put it back in and then went and fought the white man and argued with the white man, instead of instinctively listening to the words of the vulgarity, instead of what the message was the man said, which was, you're about to hit this tunnel. Now, we may not like the way a lot of things are presented, which is the same case with me. They don't like the way I present a lot of things, but nobody ever comes and says, he's wrong. And I hate that. So I'm Tammy because you don't like what I'm saying. So I'm Coon because you don't like what I'm saying. DJ Vlad said, what's up? Because you don't know what I'm saying. What's one person says, report Thomas Jerome Harris? Your chat room. And we haven't said anything wrong. So that's their responses to adults. And it's crazy. I think that's why they tell us we are crabs in a barrel, because it's really stupid. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can't hear you, brother.
You can't hear me? I'm not saying anything else.
Now I hear you. Now I hear you. All right. Well, to your credit, I'd like you to know some of your trolls come visit me when you're here, and they don't leave after they come. So I would like you to make sure you let these trolls know when they're done with you to go back from which they came and continue to troll your ass.
Now, they only came to your chat room because that's the best way for them to get to me.
Some people, I'm like, I don't know you despicable the way you going in on this, brother. Like, they know you personally.
Yeah, it's crazy. And if you think about it, it's what we do every time. You never really, every time that a brother has an argument, and it's usually somebody sent me a Instagram message of yours, and it was you and one of your wives on a train, and you said, when I'm in something to the effect of, when I'm in my Bentley, you complain that I'm showing off. When I'm on the plane, on the train, you complain and claim I'm broke. I can't win. But if you ever notice, they only care about you when you have something. When you a nigga that don't have anything, they don't bother you. You could be saying the same thing. As soon as you get somewhere, now they go, because right now, I saw somebody say, oh, Tommy and Brother Polite, the battle of scam artists. I was like, my God, y'all you just say anything instead of what are they talking about?
That's right.
And are they right? And I think that's why you and I have good discussions, because we kind of stick to that.
That's the script. And the thing is, I'm not interested in your personal life. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. You know, if you share something, I think it's an honor that you share some of your personal life so we get to know more about you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to go probing for the information, because that means I would have to take time from my personal life to indulge in yours. I have no life. And that'd mean I'm dead. if I got no life? So I don't want to be dead per se, you know, by the colloquial sense of the meaning of the word dead, because people keep up with me know my life and death concept is different, because I'm really very eager to die, and I'm working full time to master the science.
Like, look at what one of them did. They've been doing that in the past 2 days. One of them has my daughter's name in there, and it says Alex Booty Hole Swollen, and it says hashtag, and they talk about my kid like that. That's a child.
Booty swollen.
Yeah, a 12-year-old. And they'll do that the whole day. And I'm saying there's something sick about black folks, and they love to talk about white supremacy. That's why I don't listen to it. Here's the thing. Malcolm X's real name wasn't Malcolm X, but niggas love to say they love Malcolm X. But then when they don't like you, what's the first thing they do? Call out your name. But they want to say they're against white supremacy. But whatever name we were given at birth was a name we didn't give ourselves, was a name that usually came from a slave master. So they get mad at you for changing your name. And me, I just took on my father's name, but they just keep on Thomas Harris, Thomas Harris, Thomas Harris. That's the first diss of black folks, while they never called Jamie Foxx by his name. Then there is so many black folks that they don't do that to. And it's just so dumb to get trolled by your own people over a difference of opinion, to the point of, that's why I brought up the other guy in Chicago who was murdered, the YouTuber. It's really ridiculous and sick. You don't like me, so you'll stalk my mom and my daughter. My daughter had a YouTube channel. She had to take it down because grown-ass people were stalking an 11-year-old.
Well, that goes the same thing with my 11-year-old and my oldest daughter. They hate Buck to the point my daughter had to put a post. If you don't like my daddy, please bang on him. You know what I'm saying? And so much words. And I'm like, damn, yo, like, these are children. These are young ladies. Why would you do this? But the charge was led by pro-black leadership. So purportedly pro-black. So I don't know what part of being for black people is integrated with bang on the 11-year-olds and the 20-year-olds. I don't get it, but you know, enough of these people. I'm ready for the subject matter when you're ready, when you get the chat together. Otherwise, I'll hold the fort down. Still.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I thought you was gonna share the chat.
Yeah, it is. You can't see it?
I don't see it.
You click on me and you'll see yours is on the bottom by your space. See, in the middle of it, it says for Tommy and to uncoonify himself. So I've gotten $8.01 for me to.
How did we go before? Was I supposed to just go to your channel and then share that?
No, you should. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Hold on. I forgot. Hold on. I had done something a little different, and I forgot that you can't see because you can only see my face, right?
Yeah, I only see your face.
If I switch to this.
Yeah. Whoa. There we go. It's almost there. What's up? Okay, yeah, I got you. Now you have it. So you have me on the bottom, you on the top. You can actually share that one thing, and you'll be able to play it. It'll play like that through both, so you won't have to. Because yours right now switches back and forth. All right. So hold on.
No, don't do it because it'll mess it up. Just leave it like it is. Because if you do it, then it'll mess it up on my end.
Okay.
Like it is now.
Leave it like it is. So
if you click on me, you won't show up. Like if you click on the picture of what I have, you won't show up. So it'll just be me on top of me. Because I have to have you. Only other way we would have been able to do it right was if you had called me on Skype. If you had called me on Skype, then you would have been able to share exactly what I had. That's why I'm more of a Skype person than although this works, I'm just more of a Skype person. Skype allows me to do more stuff. But I'm talking into how I run my business though. But it's an easier way to do it. Now, but the good thing is you'll have two, because even though you broadcast like this, you can repost the one I have on my channel and then get the hits on the second posting.
For Tommy to quantify himself. Oh, there's people putting money up for that?
Yeah. It's only, we're gonna see that's team green. See if they got 17 hours to be able to get me to uncoonify myself. So guys, the link is in the description box if you'd like to click that link, the one that says Streamlabs, or the other ones will put you on team gray. So Streamlabs is team green, the other ones is team gray. Team gray done shout out to 65, so they kicking ass right now. But go ahead, I will let you introduce which one you want to be the first topic, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Which one is my chat, the top or the bottom?
Your chat's by you, so you're on the bottom.
Okay. I'm interested to see what people talk about in yours.
All your comment section is people who want to troll me.
It happens. I've seen some stuff.
That's crazy. That there's that many people who came because they can't do it in my room, so they literally went over to yours, not to watch it, enjoy it, but to say shit about me. That's insane.
It's part of
kids. It's not like it's 17-year-olds or this so-called white supremacy. Nope. It's old ass niggas that go around doing this. That they wait on me every day. I'm gonna flag this. I'm gonna flag that. We gotta make sure Tommy don't make no money. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
To the point they will actually pay you, apparently.
That's more of a joke. That's my people that will donate. That it's just a joke. Like yesterday, I said, what did I say to get head? To get head for the weekend. I'm just being silly.
Okay. I was about to say, man.
No, they ain't gonna send me money.
If you get paid,
don't like me broke as fuck. A lot of people who always against me have a hard time, and they complain about my money because the people who follow them don't give them shit.
I was about to see how much you getting paid to Coon per hour. So I might be in the wrong damn business.
Yeah. They saying you cooning though, man. You coming over to my side. I've been reading a lot of. I said, wait a minute, that's impossible. They can't be saying that about Brother Polite.
You know what? What's funny is I've never used that word against a black person.
Thank you.
I've never used the word coon. I don't like how it sounds, and I'm minimizing the nigga talk because I just don't want to speak like the people who are desperately attempting to degrade brothers and sisters that's doing the right job, and then or just making an effort, and then when you disagree with them, they come out with these terms. Then I don't want to use the same vocabulary as the degenerates. Yes, there's degenerates in the black community. I don't want to speak like the degenerates in the black community. So if these are the words that they've grown familiar with whenever they conduct a diatribe or they're casting their dissenting views about somebody else, then it stands to reason I don't want to use the same words and wind up being on the same frequency. So they're the main reasons I don't use the word. But we'll move forward so I don't digress, so we don't digress any further. Let's talk about
pick one of the topics and we'll go. I'll let you lead off the first one.
Talk about the wedding, because that's what you brought to my attention initially. Let's get to the wedding. And y'all be sure to share the video because it'll probably get hot eventually, and then you'll start sharing it. So share it now. So you don't miss out on nothing when you start sharing the video.
Yeah, we going straight on I-10 right now, but we'll soon go left somewhere around the 405 when we getting around LA. So that's what usually happens. But let's go ahead and see. I want to get your opinion. I wanted it as soon as it happened. The royal wedding was this whole thing of this mixed chick who looks probably Greek at best or Italian, getting all this love to the point of where a black woman wrote an article in ABC which said, does this royal wedding signify that black women basically have a chance with a white man? And all of this stuff happened. Yeah, and it was crazy. Like black women have been celebrating this, and the same black women that celebrate this woman getting a white man would, if I dated women who look like her, they would say I got a light skin upgrade. They would say I'm color struck. So this woman wouldn't even be accepted in the black community, i.e., if you look at what happened to Zendaya, who was trying out for the part and got it to play Aaliyah, and she had to turn it down afterwards because black women kept saying she's not black. Wow. So if she's not black and she can't play Aaliyah, or when Tyrese was dating up but light-skinned women, or he called his current wife a black queen, black women got mad at him. So why is it that Tyrese's mixed wife ain't black? Why is it that Zendaya ain't black enough, but Meghan Markle is not only black enough, but the whole black female world stopped and praised this woman as she got married? And Brother Polite, did you know what other important day it was on the day she got married, which was May 19th? You know what else was important about that day?
What's that? Malcolm X? What's that?
There you go. So this woman married a white man on Malcolm X's birthday, and black women sit around cheering this white woman, this half white woman marrying a white man. And this was 1 month removed from when they was walking around in dashikis and stuff, hollering, "We love the movie Black Panther." How can you be talking about some Wakanda forever? Now it's a white Manda forever, or white Conda forever. How did that happen? How did last month you was loving black love, and now you loving this mixed woman with a white daddy, marry a white man, but you get mad at a black man for taking a picture with a white woman, like Jesse Williams. They love Jesse Williams until Jesse Williams got him a white woman, then they hated him. How is it that it's on one side, it's okay to date outside your race, black women? The woman who fired Roseanne Barr was a black woman from ABC. She's married to a white man. Go look at all the positive comments she get. Go look at all the positive comments Eve get for being with a white man. You've never heard of a black woman being boycotted for being with a white man. Maya Angelou married 2 of them, and you've never heard anybody say she a sellout or coon. But a black dude look at a white woman, he a coon, he a sellout. A black dude date only light-skinned women, he color struck. How can they rectify these 2 things? That's on you.
Well, I'll tell you this. Those type of politics is the very reason why I don't keep up with certain current events until there's some real relevancy there, or something that I don't think is redundant in conversation. And so the reason why this is important is it brings back to the table how important integration is. It brings back to the table the significance of integration and when it may suffice. That's why I like the conversation. So I wasn't appalled by the wedding. First, I was just disinterested. And then I realized, okay, this woman, Rachel, her given name, but this woman is mixed race, as they would say. And you brought up a great point too when we spoke earlier, that how can people be against integration but support biracial children? And I think that's the conundrum. Mm-hmm. Because if you support biracial children, you have to make some concessions to integration. That's what I would believe. We can't really have it both ways. That's what I believe. And so that's the conundrum right there. And now we have to bring back to the table, is there a point in time where integration may suffice? Am I pro-integration? I would have to say this. I'm pro-Black. And because I'm pro-Black, I make concessions to integration. But then I got to turn around and ask people, what does it mean, to make sure they understand what they're saying, or just for context purposes, everybody else understands what's taking place. Because by the meaning of integration politically, then I would have to say there's times where it suffices. There's times where integration is necessary. And what we can learn from a demonstration such as this one is the opportunities that may exist when you integrate. Because people tell you the atrocities, and I'm down. You can tell me the atrocities, but there are certain circumstances where it suffices. And because of that, I was very happy for the mixed race sister, as many would call her, mixed race. Some people's point of contention is, hey, the father is Irish Dutch, so Caucasoid as far as people are concerned. He's a mix of 2 different Caucasoid genetics, or he's a byproduct of 2 different Caucasoid genomes. And then the mom's is considered African American. She's a dark-skinned sister and has locks.
You ain't dark.
Huh?
That woman ain't dark.
Well, I mean, she's Black. She's not white.
No, she's not black, but she's not dark.
I mean, her hair locks up like a Black woman. It don't lock up like a white woman.
Person can get their hair to lock up. You see plenty of them.
I've seen how Caucasians locks look, sir. They don't compete with the Black.
Put a picture of this woman up here. This woman is not dark skinned. She would never be considered dark skinned.
But we call people Black and we call them white. We're not actually talking about someone actually being white or someone actually being Black. The second you're not white, I call you somebody that's dark. Some people say of color, but then that becomes a little weird, euphemistic.
But you know, we as what black people together, we don't sit around and say that everybody that's black is dark skinned when you know you and me get fucking harder disses than regular people.
Oh, no, that's a fact. But when I say dark, I agree with you. But when I say dark, I'm saying she's not white. She's in the color zone. She's not. I wouldn't confuse her for a white woman no day of the week, her mother.
All right.
Would you confuse her mother? Put the picture up of her mother.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we go old school, do like my grandma, we'll call her colored. We got that's a colored woman.
I'm doing my best not to say colored. You know what I'm saying? I did my best not to say colored. But you know, you getting the picture, Tommy? I guess you muted it. Can y'all still hear me? Let me see what's going on here. Yes, Tommy. Let me see. Can you guys still hear me? Yes, Tommy. Well, yep, y'all can still hear me. All right. I don't know what's going on with Tommy's situation, but we'll find out. Okay. Tommy Sotomayor, you're looking for the picture, but I think you got me on mute, sir. I don't hear you, but the people can hear me. So I will talk until Tommy gets back. Looking for the picture, but I think you got me. Okay, the people still hear me. So it is to my belief that that sister is a black woman. And because that sister is a black woman, okay, Tommy said give him a second to come back. Okay, Tommy's computer went down, family, so, oh shit, what's up with my computer? Why is my joint loading? Okay, what the heck? This is crazy. What the fuck is this? Why is this happening? This is some wild stuff. Yeah, bro, I'm trying to load it back up now. I don't know what the fuck happened. Yo, bro, my shit just did the same thing because I was still on live and my computer's not working. What the fuck? Facts. My whole computer is froze. It's not working. I can't close a window open. I'm like, what the fuck? I had to force close my shit, man. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Unplug it, plug it back up. That's scary. Yo.
Yeah, I click back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see if I can. I don't even know if it'll put me back in the same one or if it'll be a new one. Because if we take too long, it might make a new one. I think yours, because it's the same. Well, I don't know. It still may do yours like that too. Make you have to start a new one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm back up. So I'm just waiting on you, but you can take your time because I gotta get the chat rooms together on the screen and all that goodness. Man, this shit is some weird shit. Yeah, especially they shut us both down. I'm used to my shit going down every now and then. Well, no, it hadn't been down. This hadn't happened in a while. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out if my audience can see me now. I'm thinking I'm live. Hey, can you guys see me and hear me? I don't know. If you can, let me know if you guys can see me and hear me. That'll help out a lot.
Let me see.
Uh-oh, you back? Hang up on you.
Okay, that's definitely gonna do things better.
And they said they can hear.
There we go. We're back.
All right, we're back on all sides. Perfect.
That was some wild stuff.
Very. Let's see. Oh, well, they did the same ones.
Okay. Super wild, but we back. Dang, what the heck?
I think I'm getting a weird feedback. What is that? You hear that? You don't hear it on your end?
I'm pretty cool on my end.
Okay. What the fuck that is? We'll go out. At 1,300 people, let me put this up on the website and make sure that they can come. If we can get the 1,300 people back.
I hear that.
But guys, make sure you click the like, bring everybody back, let them know that we're back trying to do this again. Apparently, we both got kicked off at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't even know if we should resume where we left off at.
I know we might want to start talking about something else.
They got me shook.
Like, well, you know, the news in the city is very good. Like, we need to start talking about something else. But hopefully we'll be able to get through this and have a good conversation. And as Brother Polite is going over there, I wanted to put a picture up. I'm going to try and do it again, see if it works. Meghan Markle's mom.
Uh-oh.
Her name is Dora Ragland. Doria Ragland. Doria? And I'll show you a picture of them beside each other. Cute old woman, she still get the business. I'm all about trying to hand out work, so I don't have a problem with giving a business. So let's see what we got here. Put it on the screen. So there's her and her mom. You see them?
I'm waiting.
Look on the screen right there. You should see them now.
Oh, okay.
Do you see them?
I was watching this from a YouTube perspective. It was a little delayed. I'm on the right screen now.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah, it's a black woman.
Oh, I didn't say she wasn't black, but that woman got gray eyes and she ain't black.
Oh,
you would never call her crispy.
Like I said, I understand what you mean or where you're coming from when I use the word dark. I use the word dark because I know what black means. Black and dark should allude to the same thing, but I know we use them differently. I call people dark people once I know they're definitely a black person. I call them dark people.
Right.
But that's neither here or there. for the conversation.
Exactly.
So long as we both know, if we saw this woman walking down the block, we would definitely identify that woman as a black woman.
Yes. Not even a question.
Now, her daughter, if you saw her daughter walking down the block, let's look at her daughter again.
White woman. Like you think that woman's white. Ain't nothing black about that woman. Like I said, if that was my girlfriend, they'd be like, soon as that nigga got some money, he went and got him a light skin bitch.
That's a little tricky.
That woman don't look black at all, bro. Tell me the truth.
It's a little tricky, but I'm gonna tell you this. I would understand both sides. I can understand the side that says if they seen them off the rip, they would qualify as white, but I still see black in the sister. But I get it. I'm not going to act oblivious to what you're looking for phenotypically. So if you say, man, I see a white woman, I understand.
Well, I mean, I can see some black in her. I would like to be the one to do it, but that's neither here nor there. You let me get a fine woman like this, I'm selling out quick. Whatever it is she want me to sell, I am selling it. But the point behind this is, like, why
stop before they give you some money for that?
But I'm just wondering, and I'm wondering if you could help me out. And I'm gonna put it back where we were. We were at 68, and there's probably more, but we were at 68 over there on team. The gray team and team green is only at 18. Y'all slipping. 800 people are watching. Go ahead and click that button if you could. Now, I want your opinion though on why is it that so many black women who look nothing like this woman relate to this woman. That woman don't have to buy weave. She grow it out her own scalp. They got to buy weave and get a lace front to look like that. That woman don't have to bleach her skin.
Well, that's the answer.
Uh-huh.
They relate because they're drawing depictions of themselves from that image being the source material. So they're going to relate to that more. They're going to relate more than they would relate to someone who's natural, because that's just not the archetype of their culture. The culture that they look in, or the culture that's embedded into their psychology, is a derivative of European culture, European concepts and aesthetics. So they're going to relate to someone who they know have black in them, that has European inclinations, and for them to know she's a black woman and she naturally is looking like that, pun intended, it stands to reason they would have a more profound connection with her than they would with something that we would consider to be a black image. So the question is the answer. They're connected to her because they know she's black, but she looks white. And so now they're black, and if they look white, it's legal.
Because but isn't that sad though? Because if a brother would have walked around doing that, he would immediately be called out. If we praise the brother that's as dark as us, who was with a white woman, we'd be in trouble. Imagine if we were walking around trying to put Tom Cruise hair on every day, bleaching our skin, using, you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, they get to do everything non-black and yet get to control the narrative of what is black. Damn, I'm good. I got to write that down.
But I'll tell you this, man, that thing is up to $18, man. Who's giving you money to help you uncoonify? Who's doing this?
I don't know, but it need to be higher than $18. It's 916 people in there. They ain't clicking. that is a mere drop in the bucket. They'll sit up and get this free ass entertainment. Talking about, we'll just watch. That's why I don't look niggas.
I'm about to tell you, take that off. It's such a distraction. When that price go up, I'm distracted.
The white boys never have to do this shit. Black dudes got to sit up there and be like, you get the free entertainment. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm dead ass serious though. Why is it that they get to control the narrative of what is and isn't black when there's nobody who does more non-black or so-called non-solidarity things? Like when you sign up, when you would sign up and spend $10 billion a year to get somebody else's hair on your head is a problem. When you would sign up to do something that's called ghetto gaggers, that's a problem. When you would do the things that they're doing, and like the one picture I showed, and we'll get into that in a minute about the cultural appropriation, if this was done the other way, there'd be an outcry. And they did it on Malcolm X's birthday, bro. Like, it doesn't get any, I would assume, disrespectful than this to see all these black women clamor after a a mixed race woman with a white daddy marrying a man who is from one of the, again, in the movie Wakanda, they was talking about white people as the colonizers. Well, the biggest colonizers was who? The British.
Yeah.
So you're happy that a woman with a white father is marrying into the family that colonized your people more than anyone else. And only one group of people were happy about this and cheering about this. And it was the black women. You didn't see no black dudes said, man, I can't wait to go see that, go see King Prince Harry marry Meghan, dog.
Well, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't expect black men in a large number to respond like that, because black men and black women, or I should say Africans of the diaspora, per their gender, are subject to different crises and therefore have different insecurities that have their inception in transgenerational behavior as far as slavery is concerned. So we look at slavery in retrospect. There are things that black men do that we should find unbecoming, and there are things that black women do that we should find unbecoming.
Mm-hmm.
And not so much what they do with their hair, when they do it with their hair, but how many people do it with their hair. That's the part that I believe is alarming, because women should have the right to change their image as they see fit at their discretion. I think it becomes alarming when you start to get a hint at the fact that these women are not proud of who they are. So this is more than just a fashion statement.
Yep.
And so if someone has cancer or diabetes, I wouldn't smack the hell out of them for having cancer or diabetes because they're sick. And likewise, I wouldn't bash women for something that I think is a form of pathology or psychosis.
Yeah, but that's my problem though. Like, that's why I said earlier, I said, but you have that group of people being the ones who get to dictate what is or isn't black.
And
so
I also disagree. I also disagree with that. I don't believe they control the narrative outside the forums that they rule. That's how narratives get controlled. Narratives get controlled per the forums that occupy that thought process in abundance. So those people don't control the narrative in my world, because my world, we have our own narrative and we don't agree with that one. So it doesn't bother me. What I understand what you mean though is it's the propaganda,
mm-hmm.
and you're confronted with it more so than less. And that is on account to the fact that maybe the people that are against that narrative are not projecting or disseminating their views more in a greater effort than that of the people who allegedly are controlling the narrative, because they don't control the narrative in my house. They don't control the narrative in the groups that I'm normally in or the environments that I'm normally in. They don't have control over that because I don't surround myself around people who think like that or feel like that. So the narrative that they control is based on a media that I don't take serious anyway. So the only thing I'm concerned with is, how do we save the people before they get to that point of thinking? Whatever that thinking may be, for the sake of conversation, that thinking is you're proud that this person found ultimately the Prince Charming. And that's why I said I was happy for the sister.
Brother Polite though.
I'm happy
because this woman said she's not black. She said it.
So
wait. Let me finish though. There's a point. Tiger Woods also said he's not black. They went in on Tiger Woods for saying he's not black. They say nothing to her for saying the same thing.
Well, let me explain something to you. And I will not digress. I just want you to walk with me. Black men have their shortcomings and black women have their shortcomings. And we know that is mostly in part due to social engineering. And we know it's mostly in part due to media propaganda, which is partially in part due to the social engineering that I made mention of. So media propaganda, social engineering, and the likes is responsible for a lot of our inconsistencies or shortcomings or insecurities in the community. The ones that are associated with the woman are more popularized and more visible because they come more in a material form. You know, I know there are more black men drug dealing and gangbanging than black women. I know this, at least from where I'm from personal observation. Maybe it's not that way somewhere else where I'm not from, but from where I'm from and places I have gone abroad, I can see this is a problem amongst black men. Territorial things, okay? Selling drugs to their own people, glorifying misogynistic practices, okay? Glorifying the degrading of their own women that represent their mothers, their daughters, and their sisters. Even if they say, well, I wasn't talking about her, I'm really talking about these bitches over here. No, you're actually disrespecting your mother, your daughters, your children, your sisters, your siblings. You're disrespecting all of those people that are female in gender when you propagate or imbue into the psyche of the people that are your patrons, these lyrics that defame your women. Now, that's a problem with black men by far that we don't see women have because they're either not in position to do so, they're not in the same position in that particular capacity to do so, or it's just not part of the transgenerational effects of being Africans of the diaspora in contrast to male and female genders. So both have conflict that's taking place. And we can outline the black woman's conflict, but let us keep in mind, her conflict isn't created because she naturally was born into this world with this complex. This was brought about through strategic planning for her to respond to adversity in this manner. For adversity in the form of, does my man love me? Adversity in the form of, why is he cheating? Adversity in the form of, where's my father? Now, we may know there's a prison industrial complex that's set there and designed to lock up black men. We may know that black men are killing each other in a mass genocide, okay, embarking upon a fratricidal war amongst each other. We may know all of these things. We know that the food has been compromised, and it is mostly in part responsible for the escalation of homosexuality or effeminate behavior in black men, coupled with broken family households missing black men. And we may turn around and say, you know what, the woman's responsible for the man missing, or the man's responsible for the woman missing. But the reality is the family is broken up. And when the family is broken up, it's creating behaviors in the children or the offspring that's only being raised exclusively by black women or the women in the house or the women in the family. And so what we're looking at with this crisis is this. What we got to look at now, we have to now say to ourselves, the issues that come about are going to manifest themselves differently in a man than it would in a woman because they're on different sides of the pole. So if the man is taken out of the household because of his gangbanging, because of his homosexuality, because of his effeminate behavior, or because of his massive incarceration, whether he be right or wrong or a victim of the same, it's going to affect the woman differently. And it creates a different insecurity in her. Whether the man was beat in front of her so she can learn to raise her son to be submissive, and then the man comes up so submissive, he doesn't know how to be a man to be received by his woman. And the woman so used to the man having to be submissive and raising men, she builds a complex where she has to learn how to develop a male instinct to raise a child because the man isn't there. So when she has to interface with a black man, she's damn near a man herself because she's been playing a man role, taking care of all the bills, taking care of the children. She don't know how to be a damn woman to a man. She only know how to be a man to a man. So this gets so out of control. Hold on. I'm going to show you this.
How do you killing me?
Real quick. This gets so out of control that now, because we are an adaptative species, we adapt, we adjust, especially when confronted with adversity. It's part of survival. If the man isn't present, if she's more man than her man, if the man broke her heart, if all three of these things run consistent in most black women's lives, being cheated on, men not raising her as a father, right? Or her watching other family members get cheated on, or men being homosexualized, or men being murdered, you begin to detest your own men of your own race. And now the contingency plan is get someone other than a black man. It's less headache because you can move up the social ladder quicker than the brother. And if no one doesn't properly explain this and put this in proper context as a child, which many of us will not, we're sideswiped by this, we're hoodwinked and we bamboozled, she then begins to think that black men in general are lazy. So she's going to respond to that narrative that black men are lazy, feeling like she bears witness to this in reality, making no concessions to the social construct that does exist that impedes on our ability to be men of provisions or providers. Now she turns around. The contingency plan is not only do you get somebody who can provide for you, because women have always been taught, and I don't disagree with it, get you a lawyer, get you a doctor. In other words, get somebody successful. Well, most people only knew the words lawyer and doctor. Get somebody successful, materially successful, so you won't be handicapped in the event if they have to leave or you or what so forth and so on. So what winds up happening is the white man becomes the prince in the shining armor that we watched on TV. Because if things are not put into proper context, this is how Africans of the diaspora, who are the female gender of the diaspora, this is how they are going to respond to this type of adversity. And so I'm not mad at it. I understand it. I don't castigate or condemn them. I think it's unfortunate, but it all becomes a matter of who educated these people before they came into adulthood, and how much of that education, if they got any of it at all, do they actually understand? Because that's going to be the way we diffuse the momentum of these people that are successful in racial appropriation. Because it's affecting the women and it's affecting the men, but it's affecting us differently. And for the women, we see how it's affecting them. And so that's why it's a double standard, because the man most times is the one teaching on these things. So if you see a black man going in that direction, everybody going to get on his ass, because the black man is normally the one known to teach you about supreme mastermind, the law, and God, and that's non-cipher, and the black germ, and the brown germ, and the white germ, and Yaku. Ain't no women on the streets really teaching that. The black man is notoriously known for teaching knowledge of self, whether it be from a Muslim perspective, a Hebrew perspective, whatever that is, or ancient Kemetic science perspective. The black man is known to parade and pride himself in teaching about knowledge of self and leaving or separating yourself from the system or the white man thereof. So when you see the black man do it, that's been inculcated in our mind for so long, man, we gonna get on your ass, black man, because that's how this thing is designed. The onus wasn't put on the black woman, which it should be, because I was taught you raise a woman, you raise a nation, you raise a man, you raise an individual. So it stands to reason we should really be making sure we pay attention to her, because she's going to give birth to the baby of the other race.
I can jump in now.
Yes, you can. I didn't know I cared this much about it.
You give, and it's always been where we disagree, you give black women a lot of excuses. And I love the one you gave them, which was, if they've been through so much at the behest of the black men that they themselves are raising alone, because they're the ones who teach them. Because if black women were such good people and at a 75 to 6% rate, they're raising these black children by themselves, the one thing we should expect from these black children is this: they should have an.
You're at 100.
You didn't let me.
I'm sorry. You're at $124 for the Aunt Coon and Tommy Fund. Who's doing this?
What else?
That's $124 to stop them from cooning. Who the hell is paying you to uncoon?
It's only been one person that really did it. That's why you see my chat room ain't moving. I shut it down. I'm sending them over to your room. They can come over and watch on your side. I told them they gotta treat me like that. I'm sick of niggas always telling me what you need to do is tell them this. What you need to do is do this. Motherfucker, y'all can't even give a buck. And it's 1,300 of you motherfuckers. But them white boys go live and them sons of bitches be walking around in a Bentley and shit. I need to get me a white fan. These niggas want to tell you what to do, when the broadcast, how long the fucking broadcast, what the fuck to say. And then when you ask grown ass niggas to throw $1 in, the motherfuckers won't do it. It's one nigga that gave $100 and the rest of them keep looking and talking. So shut the fuck up. Go somewhere else. Enjoy all the people that's about to come watch you, Brother Polite, because they ain't watching the shit on my side, motherfuckers. Anyway, let me go back to what I'm sick of niggas. I can't stand niggas. They want everything for fucking free. The cell phone ain't free. They go buy the McDonald's and get a big ass $5 cup of coffee and shit. They do all that, but they want a nigga to tap dance for free. Then they get white man come around, they pay his ass. Fuck them. All right, now let's get into the real conversation. All right. I was trying to point out that there's an issue here.
Yes, sir.
And to me, that issue is that you give these women a pass. But if you looked at who were raising the black men over the past 30 years, it's them by themselves. So the one thing you should know is this. They should be overly respectful to black women. They should be very good men, but that's not the case. Why is it that you won't give, like if a black woman's having a problem finding a good black man, you know who she should blame? The motherfucker who raised them. And who raised them that way? Most of us black men cuss all damn day. Motherfucker shit, damn. Where we get this from if there were no men there? Our mamas cuss every day. First thing they tell us, sit your black ass down. Y'all motherfuckers get on my nerves. So they speak to you this way. I showed a broadcast the other day of a woman cussing what I thought was somebody out. You know who she was cussing out? Her damn dog. She was talking to her dog like a grown-ass man. If you get your motherfucking ass in the house with your motherfucking shitting all over the place. I was like, who was she talking to? She was talking to the dog. Now,
animal rights activists, I get it.
But so all I'm saying is, if you have an individual who has 100% autonomy in raising the children, the one thing that they should do is raise black men with amazing amount of respect. But you hear black women sitting up there praising their sons, talking about he gonna be a little player when he grow up, dressing him and teaching him not to be a family man, not repeat the mistakes of his father, but encouraging him to do that. So how can they then turn around and say, it ain't no good black men? You know why it's no good black men? Because black women are raising no good black men. As a matter of fact, everywhere you go in the inner cities where black women dominate, the situation, the environment, and everything is bad. But let's just finish it with this. You would never give those same passes to a black man, for that's the reason why he won't date black women, because black women have been so bad, because he had been through so much. So a black man's supposed to stick it out, no matter how bad black women are, no matter how much they weave smell like corn chips and feet. You're supposed to stick it out, no matter how many kids they got by different dudes. You're supposed to stick it out, but black women get an excuse, and they use that excuse that you just gave. Every time you find them with a white man, they say, well, I couldn't find no good black man, so the white man was the better man. But then when they get a white man, they completely change. When Eve was dating black men, she was the pit bull and skirt. Now she got a white man. She done took the tattoos off. She's on television going, hi, I'm Eve. She act like the Rough Rider days don't exist. So they get the best of black women when they get them, no matter how bad they were. There's a problem with that, in my opinion.
Well, I'll say this, my brother. One, I've made no concessions to the women that we may see as lost. I have not overridden the plight of the black man. All I did was elaborate in great detail what some of the byproducts may be, as we are Africans of the diaspora, male and female. And since women tend to be the main focus, particularly when we get on these platforms, then it stands to reason that I hone in on them. And I say to you simply, the behavior is a byproduct of something else. It is not that I'm letting her off the hook. It's simple reasoning. And so that which, if a black woman was sitting in your space and she was the black woman version to Tommy Sotomayor, I would then say, hey, without making concessions to the black men, I would say, just please take into consideration the following things, because we're not just born like this. And it doesn't happen in one generation either. People don't function like this or be so disenfranchised in this capacity overnight or in one generation. This has to happen year after year after year. There has to be some kind of conditioning. There has to be some type of social engineering to generate this type of cognitive dissonance. So I made no concessions, my brother. And if the black man engages a black woman whose weave smells like corn chips, then shame on him, the black man, for not knowing better.
But that's your problem. If you're raised in a household with people, if your mama's hair smell like that, you wouldn't even notice it. You think it's normal. Just like if mama walk around with all this damn weave and wigs on, you think it's normal. Just like if mama's a ratchet chick or if different dudes are screwing your mama, you ain't gonna feel bad about screwing over some regular woman who ain't your mama when you saw it happen to your mama.
brother, there's a small population. Too many women, correct, but a small population considering how many black women exist that actually have weave smelling like corn chips. So shame on the black man. I don't care if his mama came from that.
Listen, I want you to do me a favor. If you say it's a small group, do me a huge favor then. Sure. Right now inside your browser, and everybody who's watching can do the same thing. In your YouTube browser, Google weave. I mean, not Google, but in the search bar, put weave corn chip smell and see what comes up. Just put it in there right now. See what comes up.
I don't have a problem. I'll do it. But I don't know how am I going to smell this through the screen. And I'm telling you from personal experience, I don't walk around black women who smell like corn chips. Because if I smell feet that smell like corn chips, I wouldn't want to be around the woman. And if I smell hair that smells like corn chips, I wouldn't want to be around the woman.
But that's because you care about you, the brother that know your blood type and all that. But the majority of brothers don't know the stuff that you know, man. The majority of brothers don't know what food is good for them.
It sounds like you're making concessions to black men. That's what it sounds like. The black man don't know no better because he was taught by the black woman who didn't know better. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying, well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you have to think about it. The majority of black women don't even know how to talk to a woman, date them for like a year. The one thing you won't hear them say is, I'm going to my OBGYN. All you brothers out there, think about when the last time your girlfriend, the black girl you was dating, even said she was going there. As a matter of fact, black men at a young age think that pussy is supposed to stink because most of these girls walking around with Joe's Crab Shack between their legs because they think it's normal.
Yo, listen, I want to say two things.
Go to a black strip club and smell like you just walked into the what was that we go to downtown? Spawn Divots.
Well, brother, I have to say this. If you're going to strip clubs where the women smell, that's not good business practices.
I don't go anymore because of that. I stopped going in my 20s.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know where you're finding these places, these people, all these searches in the engine, because I just typed in the women corn weave smelling thing. And that's a whole nother world I just opened up. I ain't seen no stuff like this before.
It's a gang of them. And it be
your ass is ratchet, bro. It's you, Tommy. Your ass is ratchet. How is it I don't know about this whole phenomenon going on?
Because
I almost lost track of the stream because I'm looking at this craziness.
Because you protect the villain. That's what you do. You love the villain. You go chilling with the villain.
What the hell are you doing to find this kind of shit? This is crazy.
That's what you do. You like chilling with the villain. Me, I call the villain out. I try to arrest the killer. You try to get him off. You a defense attorney. You don't care. You just want to defend him. I'm the prosecutor. I got to get him off the street. So we see things differently.
You a wild dude, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You put me onto something. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this information in my brain, but I know it's gonna chase me for the rest of my life.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people don't know about it, and I'll try to bring it to them. When I first saw it, I was shocked. Somebody sent me this. I was like, no, because I always talked about that weave smell. That's why I don't date women with weave. And they was like, dude, there's a whole world of people talking about the smell and trying to get it out. Like there was these black women who were fired from Waffle House because they were boiling weave in the boiler at the job. I think it's crazy what they do for weave, man.
And it's crazy what some black men will do for weed, man. But that's not to speak to the whole black male populace. You're finding the ratchet amongst the black community, and you're castigating the whole black woman community.
But everybody likes weed. You can find white boys who like weed.
I don't like weed.
Who likes weed.
You see?
You ain't gonna find a bunch of people spending $10 billion a year on weave.
I'm still more
have fucking hair. Normal people like their own head. It's only one group.
And that again.
Why if black men, why is it that black men can walk around with what God gave them out of their scalp, but the black women refuse? The same black women who wear weave would make fun of you and me if we put on Tom Cruise's hair, bro. And you know it. They laugh, they tell us all kinds of stuff, but they can do it. That's what I mean. You can't be a person who tells people what is or isn't black and then you do the complete opposite, and nobody's supposed to call it out.
But that's a different dynamic because that's something that takes place within the confines of women's culture, not black men's culture. So I'm not going to be looking for like black men to suffer from having cramps if I know they're
but we used to put the conch in our head. We used to do the Jerry curl. No, everybody likes to have a nice hair on their head. You know it. But as soon as the brother Young Jock, all he did was do like a press or whatever he did on his head. It was a fucking joke. He looked ridiculous. Some of the black women were so stupid they were dissing themselves. He looked like he get ready. He a single mom getting ready to go to college. So they point out that they look like that. That they look like this man.
Listen to me carefully, my brother. You know how when you look up certain information on YouTube, like let's say all I looked up was archaeology, then you know it wouldn't be a coincidence if things that's connected to archaeology pops up on my computer. You know, some people go, wow, what's the odds that I should find this? I was just talking about this the other day. The reality is, that's how the brain works. If you got ratchet black woman in mind, day to day, you're going to find a plethora of information that corresponds with these ratchet black women. It's a fact, because this is what you into. I think you love ratchet black women.
I do.
There you go.
I'm like them ratchet hoes, but listen, I want things to change. Look, wait.
You love them the way the trolls love you.
Well, hold on a second. For you to say this, here's the difference. When I'm talking about something, I'm talking about something that's a problem. That's the equivalent of saying a person who's saying they see cops and they go around and they want to look at what the bad cops are doing and pointing it out and try to get them off the street. That don't mean they love the bad cop. The person who's going out in the Innocence Project, that don't mean they love people who've been railroaded. They abhor people who railroad people. There's a difference. If you say that, then you would take any cause off the table that is a legit cause, because you would try to down them by saying, well, you love that since you're trying to rid the world of that. You love cancer because you the head of cancer research, but that don't make any sense.
And let me say this to you.
So you love molesters because you're trying to get molesters off the street? Like, really?
No.
That's the logic?
No, but I will tell you this. If P implies Q and Q implies P and P implies R, does that mean that Q implies R?
If P implies I and I implies M and M implies P, does that imply I'm a pimp?
Okay, I like that. Let's go back to this. Because I'm going to show you how what you said sounds like it makes sense, and it does, but it doesn't make sense all the time because it's not.
Right, just like what you said, though, doesn't make it. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Let me walk you through the process, brother.
You think it's bad, and you think it's a problem. You're saying I must love it because I think it's an issue, and I rail against it.
Okay, now let me tell you this. The point that I made was very valid, and I'll explain why. But before I do that, since we're making it a matter of logic, there are things that have been postulated before that we use mathematics to see if a person has the right to see things a certain way and yet still remain logical in the process. So I won't use letters as variables. Instead of P implies Q, Q implies P, Q implies R, so R should imply P. That's what you're saying, and that's the law of implication. There's an instance where it may make sense. Like what you just said made sense. But just because what you said made sense doesn't mean what I said also doesn't make sense. That's called the law of implication. When both parties can make rational out of similar variables, syllogistically speaking, and both parties can be right for their perspective. Your perspective that's accurate in this particular instance doesn't nullify my perspective. Because if that were the case, then it would be the law of double implication reversal. This is the truth table, or what you call sentential calculus, which helps us identify if something someone said was logical or illogical. So if the Knicks beat the Bulls and the Bulls beat the Lakers, does that mean the Knicks can beat the Lakers by logic? No, it is an assumption that would be made. Yo, they should be able to, but then we know realistically there are different variables, so we can't come to the same conclusion, syllogistically speaking. So hold on, brother. So if dogs are mammals, hold on, brother, hold on. If dogs are mammals and all mammals are warm-blooded, it is safe to conclude that all dogs are warm-blooded. That means that no matter how you spin it around, it will always be right. The logic that I used is correct, and the logic that you just used is correct. Unfortunately for you, just because of the logic you use is correct, it doesn't take away from what I said. In fact, you should still answer it. So what I said, and I'll say it again, because what you said is the law of implication. And when it cannot be reversed the way you just did it, that is to presume that what I said would go under the law of double, or what you're saying goes under the law of double implication reversal, which it doesn't. And
I do one thing. That's what I was saying. There's a lot of sound and fury signify nothing, because the truth of the matter is you made an assertion towards me, and it should have been easily me saying no, that's not true, and then we went to the same thing, something else. I didn't say that what you were saying was not true based upon something else. It's not true because it's just not true. Just like if I said you were at the club last night and you know you weren't, then that pretty much ends the conversation if you say no, I wasn't. So I'm telling you, I don't love ratchets because I'm going against them. And I use an example, but we can just throw the example out. I don't love ratchets because I'm going against them. I think it's a bad thing. And if you don't see, or anybody else in the black community does not see that these people are causing a problem, then that in itself is a problem.
I got you. So let me say this. You have every right to say, I don't love ratchets. What you postulated to go against what I was saying, the manner in which you did it, you've created a scenario where I had to come back and say, listen, brother, both our perspectives can be absolutely correct.
Well, it can't be if I'm not, though.
Huh?
It can't be, though, if I know I'm not. Like,
okay,
you're not, you know, you weren't at the club, and I'm saying you were.
And that doesn't match what I'm talking about, because that's not a syllogism. Because a syllogism is when you have two premises that lead to a conclusion. I know what I'm talking about. You're not using a syllogism right now. You have a sentence made up of a subject and a predicate. That's what you had in the story. So you're saying, well, it doesn't matter because you went to the club and I didn't go to the club. Then what does that? No, brother. What we're talking about is built upon several different variables. So now we have to identify it as a syllogism. And syllogistically speaking, it now has to fall within the realm of implication or double implication reversal. That's what it has to fall in using logic. So whether you like it or not, both of us are prevalent in this matter where we can both say, you know what? Both concepts make sense. I understand what you're saying. You're saying, brother, you can't say that I love these ratchet women when I'm telling you I don't love these ratchet women. I understand what you're saying. That's where you at with it. I don't love these ratchet women. So no matter what you say, doesn't mean that I love these ratchet women. I get you. How you responded takes it out the window. And two, I know you love those ratchet women.
And see, that's we get stuck on stuff like this. And
I don't mind. Let's do it.
Yeah, we get stuck on stuff like this, and it just becomes like, okay, let's throw some mud out here. Put a big.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Is affection a positive thing, or can affection be inclusive of something positive, or something negative, or even just something questionable? Is affection exclusive to a positive feeling?
No, an affectionate typically is a good intention on the person having it. Now, that doesn't mean that the person receiving the affection finds it a good thing. But there are, and maybe you can tell me sometimes which is not.
Okay.
But in general, affection is a positive feeling from one person to another.
Okay. So I also know affection to me, if you need me to screenshot you the definition from a source, because I have to have source material for why I come to the conclusions I come to.
Whatever it was fine. I told you where it was really quick. I told you how I felt about it. And then now
I don't have a problem about how you feel about the words you use.
I'm waiting on you because you may have different, and that's
no problem. I'm with you. I don't hold nothing against you. I never have a problem with how people feel about words that they use. The only problem I will wind up having is if I tell them what those words actually mean from a point of reference, and then they have a feeling about me for using the words from a point of reference when I didn't make a feeling about you for having a feeling about the words. So
I want to be corrected. That's why I jumped into you.
Okay,
I said, if
no problem. I'm with you. And what you said, to your credit, most people, I believe, would say at least that it generally has a positive connotation when you talk about affection. I believe that. So I'm not ignorant nor oblivious to that. But affection also is the process of affecting or being affected. Affection is the process of affecting or being affected, and is not limited to good or bad or right or wrong. So now what we'll do, if we know what love is, love by definition is an intense feeling of deep affection. I know, and everyone else knows, you are deeply affected by the things that Black women are doing. So by that definition, you love these ratchet Black women because you are deeply affected by them. And we can tell this based on how you go through these diatribes when you castigate or condemn them before the public continuously or annually, year to year. So by that meaning, I know you love these ratchet women because I know you are deeply affected by these ratchet women because you've spoken on your personal accounts on so many different occasions.
Now, I can tell you what I'm affected by that scares me. Like when I hear a story about the brother in Chicago that was shot, or when I watch the hypocritical behavior, when I watch the hypocritical behavior, and I know I have to deal with that. You have to deal with when I get online, the niggas these women are raising are the same niggas that's flagging your shit and fucking with your child and stuff. Of course, then at that point, somebody should say something, especially me, if I know I'm directly affected by the seed and the products that they're putting into the world. Like if you knew white women were putting out white dudes who were going around raping Black women and hanging Black dudes, you would say most of these damn racist, rapist white men are coming from single white women who are telling them this.
Yes.
It don't mean you give a shit about the white women.
Totally understood.
You know where the source is coming from, so you can tell the people who are mostly affected by it where it's coming from, and hopefully the people who are doing it might give a crap enough to change because you done put a spotlight on them. Not that they give a crap about you, but you don't put the spotlight on them to where if either they change or we start dealing with you differently because we know who you are now.
I totally agree with you. And so I never disagree with what you said before. It doesn't mean that you love them. I understood the context from which you were speaking from. So I agree based on that context. And then I just elaborated on where I'm coming from to tell you, based on that context, I'm actually accurate as well in what I'm saying. And I gave clarity. So I'm okay with all of that. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm cool on that. I don't want us to digress. We building. You know, I just want you to understand where I'm coming from when I'm speaking.
So before we go to the next topic, though, I still want you to clarify something for me. Why you said why they relate to them, but can you say if I say
put the chat back up? You made some more money, bro. Put the chat back up.
Well, it's on your side, but I got a headache. And if I would leave yours up.
Yeah, leave it up. Leave mine up.
No, I would have left yours up. But everybody in your chat room, they sit up there, talk about the kid he ain't got. What happened to that white girl?
I'm gonna work on that while we're talking.
12 inches. Like if I got actually people talking about what we're talking about, I'll leave your comment section up and fuck mine. I will leave yours up. But then I went to yours because when I tried to put yours up, I was like, God, dog, they ain't even talking about the show. They just talking about my mama, my daughter. Then they keep doing it.
I'm sure they're speaking about the show at this particular moment. Let's just see.
Let's see. Because if they are, I'll leave it up.
It's not fair to the people who actually are engaged and they want to read what each other's saying and respond.
I agree. But at the end of the day, if they're going to do it, I'm not going to just put it up and let it be on my screen. If on yours, they can do it. I'm going to do it on mine.
I understand.
But here's the thing. Somebody say I sound like a brat. See? But I have the right to sound like a brat on my own damn channel. That doesn't make any sense. If somebody say come into their house, you take your damn shoes off. Niggas, the only people complain about how that person run their house. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't go to people's shit if I don't like the way they run it. Did it? If I go to your house and you serving pork, I'm not going to complain about you serving pork. I'm not going to go to your house. And if you ask me why I'm not at your house, I'm going to say, because you keep serving pork.
I dig it.
So, and again, I'm not taking anything from them. They can talk. I didn't stop them from talking. I even told my audience, you want to talk? Go over that. Well, there it is. Apparently somebody did it. So I don't know what happened, but we got over it like really quick. That was weird. So I'll take it off. That I don't know what the fuck happened, but it just went up to 516 out of nowhere.
Now you got to put it up because you made a deal with these people. You want
I know. That's what I said. I don't know what happened, but I'll put it back up. I'm man of my word.
Put up for Tommy to stop cooning.
Brother Light said it's stupid.
Yo, I'm telling you, I'm feeling away here. Now I ain't gonna be teaching for free. If people are uncooning fund, if there's an uncooning fund, what they're doing is encouraging people to coon.
Brother Light said them niggas ain't shit.
If you're putting your money towards someone uncooning, you're selling me on the idea to coon.
Right.
It's reverse psychology, man. No.
It's a distraction through the whole show, man.
Team Green in the building. They always show up and they always show out. Damn it, man. But I want to ask you this, and many of them are telling me to keep the. I'm looking, and these people are telling me to keep the chat closed. That donate for me to keep the chat closed. And then, like this person says, Tommy crying again, freedom of speech. I didn't stop you from talking, motherfucker. You just wrote it. So now they saying freedom of speech is to fuck with me. That's what they believe freedom of speech is. You should, not only should I have freedom of speech, but I should be able to force you to listen to it. What is wrong with people?
That's a fact.
They can type whatever they want. They're not being stopped from doing it. And they're still saying that because I wasn't putting it on the screen, it's freedom of speech. Oh my God. This one dude, see your chat room. This dude is no different than a homeless man begging. And you don't go around fucking with homeless people for begging. So why are you fucking with me? I ain't never seen none of y'all niggas be up in a homeless person's face talking about some nigga stop begging. Nigga stop begging. So if I'm no different, then treat me like a homeless person. You don't make no fucking videos about a homeless person. You don't talk shit about a homeless person's kids. You don't say shit when they got their hands out. So leave me alone. Let me be homeless. See, they don't like logic. They hate people hate logic. Tommy need to pacify. That's why your chat room is your chat room on my damn screen. Your chat room is just a bunch of dumbasses. It is. Now I know it ain't your people because there's a lot of people who just dislike me who are just using your chat room to do it. That's all. I'm not gonna say it's your people. I'm trying to get us to stay on the subject. But let me just ask you this. This is why I have such a problem with a lot of people. If we do a lot of talking about nothing and we don't stick to the subject and just go on and kill it and move around. Because let me just see if I watch. Let's see what happened. We're gonna go right back to the subject and let's see what's being written in your comment section as we are in the subject.
Yeah, I see a lot of support too. I see people saying facts, Tommy. No, haters gonna hate Tommy.
Yeah, because they had to come over there from my channel because I shut it down. Remember?
Oh,
I told
okay.
you that.
But I, man, I just like to see the positive people. We view the world different. I like seeing what people are thinking because I generate a lot of new thoughts in response to what they're thinking, even if it's a little bit negative. I'm not talking about the people.
You got to understand what I'm dealing with. People are trying to destroy my life. That's the difference. So I can't see it. When it was just they were doing that stuff, but they weren't flagging my stuff down. They weren't putting out my address. They weren't going to my mom. When it wasn't that, I viewed it just like you. I was like, it's just comments, and at least you know. That's not what it is anymore. These people are trying to destroy my fucking life. So I don't want to see them or give them a voice when I know they're not here to have a discussion or even tell people, hey, Tommy's wrong about this. He's wrong about that. They're literally here to fuck up my life. I don't want to talk to those people and I won't like to see their comments anymore. I used to have fun doing it. I used to have fun responding to them. It was fun at that point because it was just dialogue. Yeah. It's not dialogue anymore. These people are trying to fuck my life up. So I want to ask you before, so we can end this first part of it. I want to ask you about, you said that they identify with the black woman, although the woman's not black, but you said they identify with her. So I then want to ask you, is there a same kind of situation that we as black men have like that? Like we see Jesse Williams, and Jesse Williams marries a white woman, and we identify with him because, well, he's black, even though he looked like Justin Timberlake. Do we do this? Do black men? Do you know of this happening amongst black men?
Oh yeah. The thing is, the approach that the black man takes is different from the approach the black woman takes. You're not going to tell me that black men don't strive to be white men, because they do. It's just that the interest is higher and more appealing to black women because of the dynamics amongst the male and female genders. You understand what I'm saying? Amongst the male and female genders, it's going to manifest itself amongst black women in the form of their appearance. It's going to manifest itself with black men in the form of their behavior. You know, whether they want to talk differently, change their voice a little bit, you know, and appeal more to a white tonation, or it may be the manner in which they want to deal with their females might be from a more primitive European aspect or construct than that of the black love archetype that we've demonstrated throughout the years when uncompromised and left to our own vices. So you're not going to see the black man put on a Tom Cruise wig. You're not going to see that. But you may see a demonstration of the white man's hostility vicariously working through the black man. You may hear it in his tonation when he changes his tone. You may see it in his disposition. I've seen black men have relationships with white women, pardon me. I've seen black men have relationships with white women. And this is where you get the term the sunken place, where you see black men, if you watch that movie, Get Out, that's a prime exemplification. That's a prime example.
But wait, that's what I mean. Y'all will do that. You said this is where you get this term. No, you got it from a misuse of the from this movie, which was made by this mixed guy who's married to a white woman. So there would be no reason that he was making that movie to say black men who date white women are in a sunken place. That is not what he was saying. It wouldn't make any sense.
But what we cannot deny is the joke was that black man obviously wasn't acting like a black man. And this was an example of a black man overwhelmed.
So you just still
because remember, I've answered your question, so I don't want you to create a new conversation until we make it clear that what I said has been addressed. And you said, in what instance, to paraphrase, do you see the black man following suit in the manner in which black women may say, hey, I want to be in the image and likeness of the white woman, or I want to be in the image and likeness of white culture? You said, so where do black men do it? Almost as if it doesn't exist. So an example would be provided by the imagery of the movie Get Out. No matter what racial stock, no matter what racial stock,
question.
No matter what racial stock.
Back and hear what my question was. My question said, give me an example of when a black man utilized a mixed man who then went out and married a white woman and agreed and identified with that man's life.
Say it again, my brother.
Black men, any black man, saw a mixed man get a white woman and identify with that man's life.
A black man sees a mixed man
identifies a woman or date a white woman, and they identify with that man and be like, you go, bro.
And they identifying with the mixed man?
Yes. A biracial man get a white woman, you know, like Blake Griffin. Like, name the time that black men was like, you go, Blake Griffin.
Let me ask you a question about this mixed man. Is this mixed man leaning towards white culture or black culture?
Meghan Markle is leaning towards white culture. So
okay, so the person that they're identifying with has the past and is using the past to dibble and dabble or indulge in white culture, correct?
Yes, and we are identifying with this person who will not call themselves black.
They'll be following a white man. And in that case, let's go back to the movie, because you're only going to, in this particular conversation,
real life, Meghan is not a movie. Meghan is not a movie. This is a real chick. I'm not going to let you misidentify what this man's reason for making.
But let me ask you something, brother. It's called satire. And when you're using or employing satire, it's because something is factually relevant. Something's factually relevant to the real world, which makes you laugh, not because of the principle that it's just a good joke. The satire that's being employed stipulates that this is funny because we see the relevancy of this joke in real life day to day. So the satire employed in that movie, though it is a movie, attested to something that transpires in the real world that we all identify with, which tells us that black men too can be lost and lose themselves in white culture or want to indulge in white culture to desperate extremes. And when that black man, something happened to that black man, all of a sudden he became a homie again, and we laughed because we said he was acting like other than himself in kind, and he had to snap out of it. The movie didn't create, hold on, the movie did not create that. That's something that already existed that we finally seen portrayed in a movie. Right or wrong?
In the movie was not, quote unquote, acting white. The man dating that woman was not any of that. That was the point.
You lost my point. So let me show you the point. The point of the matter is black men can lose themselves in European culture just like black men. And hold on. The point was, show me when, now you're saying, show me when a black man wants to emulate the
life example. That's all I asked for. This should be short. When you ask me for a life example,
I'm not going to tell me how to answer the
question. You asked me for a life example of the corn chips. I just sent you to the place and you saw it. It wasn't my thought.
I didn't ask for that, sir. You suggested it to me. I said, okay. You suggested it to me. I said things about it, but I didn't ask for it.
Yes, because you were saying that that can't be a large number. It's a small number, so why address it? Yet when it came to this,
I didn't ask for it.
Any example, you could only find the movie. If you said this movie is satire of real life, I'm asking you to just name one for me. A real person.
I got a homeboy named John that we make fun of him. We call him White Boy John, even though he's a black man.
Move on then.
What is that example gonna do for you? And it's a fact too. I know I could call 2 people now and ask them about White Boy John. I can call 2 people right now. That's not gonna do that for you.
You're right. You have an example of a personal example, and I would should give a personal example, I guess, of mine, and it can destroy any argument you have as we talk, even though what you talk about.
Oh no! What I did was
that people know of.
Right now, you're pissed off about the royal wedding because of the mixed race woman.
I'm not. Oh no! I'm not pissed off about the wedding.
I'll take off pissed off. Your example is about the mixed woman and black women identifying with a mixed woman. But what I'm saying is, if the woman wasn't mixed, then we still will be dealing with some of the same stipulations. But the fact that the woman is mixed, the argument isn't so much that these black women want to emulate a mixed woman. The argument is these black women are emulating a woman who got the pass to get into that culture. That's what it is, because they already were emulating the disposition that she's getting away with. So
I'll agree with that. So you're saying black women deep down.
The conversation isn't black women want to be mixed. It's black women want to be white, because the woman that's mixed, you said, don't I even identify with being black. So then now let me ask that. Let's have short answer. So you're saying what you just said, that black women deep down would like to be able to pass and put themselves in a higher position in white society. Is that what you just said? The conversation is about the black women who want to do that.
That's all I'm asking.
I don't generalize black women because I'm around too many that don't want to be white.
But
so
you were generalizing them earlier.
That by my own experience.
But you literally were generalizing them earlier. You were generalizing how many of them even come to that conclusion. That was a generalization.
I was speaking in context to the conversation that you proposed to me before we got on the phone that we later indulged in on this live stream. So to make it clear, if there was any discrepancies then, I don't mind there being a discrepancy. Luckily for us, you was able to voice what the discrepancy is so I can rectify or remedy the matter. I am not making generalizations about black women. I'm speaking on the subject matter that exists in this dialogue, which is the black women, definite article, the black women who want to be white or are culturally lost or displaced. That's the conversation I'm having. Not all black women, not black women in general, but the black women who suffer from that particular issue. That's who I'm talking about.
Okay, like the idea of saying, like somebody wrote in the comment section, in your comment section, they said, Tommy wants to be white. Yet, if a black woman is doing this, it's not a bad thing for her. So you can put black men down, even if they're not doing anything to try and be white.
Who are these people putting black men down? Who's that person talking? Do you know them personally?
No. What I'm saying is,
black or white?
Whoever that person is, what I'm saying is, it's what we use.
It matters because you're talking as though black people, it's okay for black people to do it. No, do you even know if that person is black that said that? We don't know them from a hole in the wall.
I can only go by what they're saying.
Well, it wasn't cool when I talked about my homeboy John, but it's cool for you to talk about an anonymous person in the chat and qualify them for your argument.
I can't
hear a reference about the person in the chat
because if I said I was at a club and somebody got hung at the club, if everybody saw it, then that's a discussion we all can say really happened. If I say it and I'm the only one who saw it, it just sounds like I'm using a contrary argument. So you can see what the person wrote. If I wouldn't just say, well, that's what I just
matters if a black person is saying it based on your argument.
Why? Because what was my argument?
Your argument is it's okay for the black man to be condemned before his own when he's with a white woman, but the double standard is when the black woman finds herself in the same scenarios, we make concessions to her. This has been the argument, the whole conversation. So in order for you to reference someone in the chat room, they have to be black first for it to make sense as part of your narrative. And if we don't know if they're actually black, we need not bother ourselves or beguile each other with this idea because we don't even know what race that person is. They could just be trolling from Asia for all we freaking up. We don't know who that is. So let's not even reference the person in the chat in respect to this conversation because it's not a good reference. I'm using what you're using. It's just more direct and accurate right now. I don't want to use the chat room people as a reference.
When before this came up, I used several others. I used Maya Angelou. You've never heard anybody condemn her work or her position when she married not one, but two. You've never heard anybody say anything about Diane Carroll.
You don't think someone condemned Maya Angelou for dealing with someone other than her race?
All I know is
you haven't heard it. Is that possible? You think black people all over the world who looked up to Maya Angelou just went with it?
But brother, that's why I asked the audience and you, because I can only go by my standpoint. But then if you have a different take, you've seen something different, I'd welcome it. That's why I asked it in the form of a question, not said it in the form of a statement. I asked the question of everyone watching and you. So if anybody knows, wait a minute, bruh, they put her down bad. You got to look at this article. You got to look at that article. Then I'd be like, oh shit, I didn't know.
And who's they? When we say they put it down, that's black people or that's media? Who are we talking about?
I said they, and then I said, go look at this article or that article, or because I point out things that as a whole, it's the same way as what happened with Todd Gurley.
What? Who are these people you talking about that's mad at these people for having interracial relationships? What are we talking about? Black women in general? Are we talking about black men and black women? Are we talking about white media with a black writer as the guy who's authored the article? What are we talking about here? You're not going to tell me anybody that's black or that's in the black community, be they brother or sister.
Ask me what I'm talking about. I'll tell you.
Relationship. I'm sure someone is.
What am I talking about? Now I'll tell you. But then you ask the question, and then you continue to filibuster the question.
I'm filibustering. Go ahead, my brother. Then I'll fall back. I'll listen.
You ask, who are these people? I'm saying I was talking about there's several different articles who are written by us, who are consumed by us. And as we consume them, we will say, yes, just like with Kanye West, just like how you pointed out, The Sunken Place. You reference a movie. That doesn't mean every black person thinks like that, but you did reference the movie. So if you can reference pop culture, I'm doing the same thing. And you referenced a man who's mixed, who's married to a white woman who made the movie and still were able to reference that movie.
Well, in fact, he understands the crisis more.
Yet I couldn't say that the person who wrote the comment in the comment section, whether they be black, white, or whatever, they understand the crisis more. So their comment is correct because they understand.
The person that's the director is the epitome of your whole focal point because you're talking about the mixed child. So the director is mixed. And he's the one projecting these ideas to the masses. And he employs satire, which made it funny.
Because who bought into it?
Knows that it's funny because it's coming from a place of relevancy.
And yet who bought into it though?
Satire.
Who are the people who bought into the mixed man as you are going? Because he didn't say that's what it was. But I'm going to let you be able to tell him what it was. Who bought into it? Because you don't hear white people sitting up here saying that black guy's in the sunken place. That's Negroes' words.
I saw black and white people in the theater. They bought the ticket, so they bought into it.
They didn't know what it was when they bought the ticket, man. Come on now.
So how the hell do these movies sell this fast? How did it sell so much? It sold millions, $30 million more than they even anticipated.
You went to go see it. You didn't know what was in it. You wanted to go see it because everybody said, man, you need to go see this movie. But you didn't know that was the message.
So you mean to tell me nobody went to the movie? Know what the
message was when I went to go see it. I didn't know how Infinity War was going to end. That's why I went to go see it.
What does the second week of movie sales stipulate? The second week is the most significant week in movie sales.
They have staying power, because usually what happens is, and what makes the second week so important.
Let's do it.
What makes the second week so important is because just like the movie that just came out, Solo, the first week will do well if the consensus that comes out, people say, oh shit, it sucked. Word of mouth will kill it. Deadpool 1 made a bunch of money because the people who saw it week 1 said it was great.
That's right.
So week 2, people's like, well, shit, I need to go see it too.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. But they didn't
exactly.
They were that's what happened with Get Out.
To see week 2 without some kind of context.
So what I'm saying is the people in week 1, the people's like, oh my God, y'all got, because I was one of the people who did it. And I was one of the people who did a review. I was like, you got to go see this movie.
Okay, and let me do this real quick for the people in the chat. I want the people in the chat to type in the name of the article that Tommy Sotomayor used that he said he referenced. Type in the name of the article, or type in the author or the writer of the article. Hold on, y'all. Tommy, don't say nothing. I want y'all to type in the name of the article that Tommy referenced, or type in the writer of the article that Tommy referenced. And tell me if that writer is actually black or white. In fact, tell me what the name of the article is, because I ain't hear the name of the article. And you know what? I know you didn't hear the name of the article. But since you support the brother, tell me the name of the article that he actually referenced, because I referenced a movie based on the fact that it identified with contemporary politics and other topical issues. Again, hold on. Brother, don't worry about it.
Tommy's got a gay boy. You're not talking about that audience that you're reading right there. Who that's everything they're saying on your side. My side is
talking about. Hold on.
The whole time.
About your audience
of trolls. Tommy Crispy Sotomayor. Every third comment, where
that's not the point that I'm making right now, though. The point I'm making is
your audience can do whatever they want to. I asked them earlier to just be honestly, and you're gonna keep saying stupid shit like that. It's not gonna show up on my screen. I'm not doing that.
Okay, brother, but let me explain. Go.
We're gonna sit up there and watch your audience just be big ass kids, and we're trying to have a real fucking discussion.
I dig it, but I gotta go back to your audience. I'm asking your audience, because one person hasn't done it yet. Name the article that Tommy Sotomayor referenced, or name the writer that wrote the article that Tommy Sotomayor referenced. Put some money on that, because I know you ain't got a name. You ain't got a name of the article.
Do him a favor. Any of the articles, you can go and find that woman who wrote that book on how to catch white men. You can go in all those articles. Go ahead and put them in there.
Yeah. But that's not the answer. The answer is name the one that he specifically named.
I didn't specifically name one. No, I did not. I asked you.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is this. What we do have is an actual movie with an actual reference.
But I can do what you just said. That ain't right, man. You didn't
right. It's all fair.
Ask me, can you do this? You said name the thing that I didn't do.
Brother,
I can several times.
You said specifically out your mouth, this is not fair. You can't, for you to say, hey, brother, I'm the one who gave you a reference. And then when I asked the people, what the hell did he actually reference? You turn around and make it clear, well, I didn't actually give you a name of an article or the name of the writer. So if you say that, hold on. If you say
that's the one thing I don't like when you do. When you just start talking earlier, when I was speaking, after I let you speak for 10 minutes, I said 2 words and you stopped me and I said, hold on, that's not fair. You can't do it. You said, no, I'm not gonna let you say that. And I stopped. You keep over talking shit I didn't say, and that ain't cool. And then when I tell you, you keep on going. I'm like, come on, bro, don't do that.
You gave a name of the article and the name of the writer?
I didn't say that at all. We weren't discussing this. I was
how did you give a reference that's appropriate to the conversation if you can't tell me a name of the article or the writer?
This I didn't when we were talking about the article. I was asking you to find one. I said, if you can find an article of somebody black going along and cheering for the mixed person, getting a white person, because I can show you articles of black chicks following along with mixed chicks and black chicks dating white men and cheering for it. I can also show you the opposite. Black men dating white women.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor, brother. You could take out the whole chat since you're cutting out my chat room. Take out the whole chat room.
Well, no.
Take out the whole chat room, because if you want to be biased like that, I don't mind, but make it fair.
My side ain't calling you. I gave your first off, let's
you could cut it out, because what we agreed to was to divide everything 50-50. So if it's not going to be 50-50, knock out the whole chat and let you and I
moderate your chat room, and they putting out my real motherfucking name.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just eliminate the chat altogether. Take your chat out, and I take my chat out.
It's gonna be on my screen. You can believe on yours. It ain't gonna be on mine. I got that right.
Good. Because what I want to explain to you is I don't want to only have Tommy Sotomayor calling my channel. I don't want to put that. There's no purpose of me having my channel up if I'm only gonna put your comments.
Your comments show back up when they on the replays. Every comment on your page just shows up on the replay. Literally.
And hold on, brother. This is the screen. So the screen is going to show up on the replay, and they're going to have to toggle back and forth between the chat room on the side and this one, when in fact, all you have to do is eliminate your chat. Right or wrong?
No, what'd you say earlier?
What's that? Tell me. I'll listen. What I said earlier.
I'd be a man of my word. If I told them to get to a certain place, then I'm going to do it. Now, what the fuck I look like telling them people I'm going to take your money and say, fuck you, when they're watching on my channel, not yours.
Well, you have to explain to them is you made an agreement with me that we're splitting the screen and we're sharing the forum 50-50. Sharing the forum is if you're showing your chat members, I can show my channel.
I'm not putting it up. If you ain't going to moderate your stuff, I'm not going to do this. If you can't,
don't leave yours up there. Don't leave yours up there. While I'm debating you, I don't have nobody else moderating my chat room because it's just me. So I don't want to be there while you're talking.
I'm not going to have that scrolling on my stuff that people are paying for of your people talking about your ass blown out and talking about my kid. No, I'm not doing that. We can have the discussion. If that bothers you, I can stop the whole thing.
Hey, brother.
I'm not that either. But I'm not going to put that crap. Y'all like drama and dumb shit. I don't. That we don't get nowhere with people doing that. And the fact that your audience think that shit is cool is dumb. That makes sense.
I hear you, brother.
I can watch people write about my personal life and then I'm gonna replay it. It's not like they're talking about the debate. If they were, I'd understand it. If they were talking about how stupid my argument was, I'd understand it. They're not. I'm gay every 5 seconds and I'm supposed to replay that? No. Why would you even ask me to do that?
I hear you, brother. So what I'm saying is this. Eliminate your chat so no chats are showed. That's it. Because we agreed that we were sharing the forum, and the sharing of the forum is at an exit. Once you say, I'm only going to show my chat and I'm not going to show yours, because that's undermining my platform, because the people on my platform have the right to engage each other too and see their chat. They can't see their chat.
Wait.
I understand that you feel like people, I understand that you're saying people are coming after you. And if I fail to moderate it, take down yours, and I don't mind if mine is not here. But it's not fair to my platform for them to see yours and not see mine.
See me.
Huh?
When you speak, they only see your face, not me. This is my photo. What they're seeing when I talk is my photo. My photo just includes.
Are you able to take the chat off or not?
Yes, but I'm not, because
why would you not take it off? Because I'm the one that asked for it to be on. So long as mine was on, you can replay the video. I asked for both chats to be on. That's what I asked, and you said, "Hold on, I'm working on it, brother." So now, since you don't like my chat forum, and you say I'm not moderating good, and I know I'm not moderating good because I'm invested into the conversation. People are talking about me negative in your chat room. You're not kicking everybody out that's talking about me.
I can stop the show, but I'm not. And we can cut this short. I'm being very straightforward. These people paid for this. We can stop the show and I'll just go talk to them because they paid for it.
Be that as they may. So then what we can do,
my picture. Because my chat is only my picture.
No problem. What we can do, we can stop this, since this is the name of the game that you want to play, because I came in under the pretense we were sharing the forums 50-50. You're not going to leave your chat up there and undermine my audience.
This is something I know how to do. That I know how to do this. You can't even do it on your end. So don't tell me that I'm supposed to do this. I just said you can share it on both, which you are doing. You are broadcasting on yours. I didn't stop that. As a matter of fact, when you talk, nothing shows up. It would be different if there was a chat that showed up when you talk. There's nothing that shows up when you speak, only when I speak. So I put something up as a part of my picture, and you're now telling me what I should put on it?
Well, I'll tell you this. what we agreed to per our phone conversation was that we was going to use your platform to conduct the sharing like we have done in the previous sentence where we have shared platforms. So that being the case, what you said is irrelevant, because when the video was on, I said, brother, do you want to share the chat rooms? Mine's and yours. You said, hold on, buy us some time while I get it straight right now. And so now it has evolved where people are being very mean to you and you don't like it. And I understand that. I understand that.
It's just like when you were talking about being mean, but I said we're filibustering and we're not getting to the point. Listen, unlike a lot of other people, if I'm going to do something, I would like for it to just go and be decent and in order. And if we can't be decent in order, then I'll cut it down. I don't mind. I could have done my own thing and would have got the same numbers. It doesn't bother me. But I'm not going to keep arguing about things that I've said I'm not going to do.
This happens every debate.
That crap. My real life gets fucked with by people. If you think that's okay to keep broadcasting, I don't. I'm down to my fucking 100 channel because these people keep
talk bad about me.
These people have tried to fuck up my life. I'm not getting involved in this shit no more. I'm not. Having people get their rocks off on my life, I'm not doing it. So if you want that, you can do it. I'm not doing it. They ain't fucking with you like they're doing it. I'm
concerned with people talking negative about you because I don't participate in that negative talk. What I'm saying is, since your conversation is this, my brother, please listen, my brother. Since your conversation is this, I don't want to have this replayed on my platform and see those comments. Well, brother, let me talk. Every time you talk, I can see those comments, and all of those are not positive. So since the name of the game is we don't want negativity being prevalent where people can see the negative words.
That isn't what I said.
Okay, I'll listen.
You're doing it again, and I don't like when people do that. Very damn direct. I said, I don't care if they're arguing against what I'm saying or what we're debating, because that's what we're supposed to be here fucking for. But not for people to sit up there talking about my asshole been blown out or talking about my kid and making profiles talking about my daughter sucking dick. And if you don't understand why I don't want that shit on my replays, then we don't need to talk. Instead of telling your audience, hey, look, you paid to see us talk about this, not to sit up here and keep calling nigga crispy every 5 fucking seconds when you're not saying his argument is wrong. He the nigga lying. What he's saying is wrong. No, I'm supposed to sit up there and watch this nigga talk about my damn kid all day and the shit's a joke. I wouldn't watch nobody and laugh at people talking about your daughter like that. And the fact that you're telling me, well, we should just let that go. I mean, it's just.
I didn't say that. That's incorrect.
So then why would you turn around and say, well, you said you don't want negativity? No, I said these.
Incorrect.
You just said that I said I didn't want negativity and people said negative stuff about me. Ain't nobody put shit. There's nobody on my side that said shit about your personal life. Not once.
That's a lie. I've seen several, and some of them just went by just now while I was listening to you talk.
Let you go see it. Let one person say what your real name is or say something about your daughter on my side. We'll go do that, because I'm not going to sit here and argue, because I've been watching both sides. And if they said some fucked up shit.
Both sides accurately enough, because I've seen several personal attacks on yours, and I hate those.
What I'm going to do now is stop and go look, because you just blamed their audience, my audience. So I'm going to go off on my audience if they did it. But I'm not going to let you say that when they're saying it hadn't happened, and I've been looking. I pay attention to both. So I'm going to look and
what
see.
What kind of childish stuff is this? Listen,
I'm going to go look.
You said you had no references for what you said, but you said you had references. This is what you said. You said you had references.
You like to play a shell game with a discussion.
Not a shell game. This all happened. You always refer.
They didn't. Then you brought up you didn't give an example when before we even got to that, I was trying to give you one because you said I didn't, and that's not what happened.
My brother, did you come out your face and say you gave a reference from articles and an author? Did you say that?
No, not when we were talking about that part. I didn't.
Did you ever say it at all?
For one.
Did you ever say it at all?
No, not there. At that point, I was asking you.
I didn't even ask you where. Did you say it at all? That's the question. At all.
When I did give one.
And so what was the name of the article, the name of the author?
I'm not going to do this now. You're going to go back and look at the comments.
Got it.
Keep on just bullshitting with the
You do this every time you get caught out there.
No, I didn't.
Start complaining about the chat room every time your ass get caught.
This is too.
You do this all the time, Tommy. You do this all the time.
You like fucking with people when you talk, man, and it becomes unproductive. It's cute for y'all people. That's why you got the kind of audience that sit around talking about people getting their ass blown out and 12-year-old girls.
I've never seen no one in my ears talk like that until I did something with you.
Oh, come on. I've watched the comments. And
I've never seen someone say something about someone's ass being blown out ever in my life. I've never seen it until I talked to Tommy. It's the way you talk. You so ratchet in your conversations. You bring those type of people to the conversation because the way you deliberate. You ever think about that? You curse so much and use so much profanity and say so much negative things. You don't think you're going to attract those type of people eventually?
You're right. It's my fault. So what I should...
No. It's not your fault that people are disrespecting you.
I bring people to talk about my daughter and try to fuck up my shit.
I don't think that's respectful for people to do that. But what I'm saying, that's over the top. That's over the top. But as far as the other negativity...
I'm ratchet and I brought ratchet people over here. You're right. I'm ratchet and I brought ratchetness to...
Well, I would agree with that.
No reason.
You said yourself you have a problem behaving.
Because once you have the discussion with me, it's just going to be ratchet. Because that's who I am.
No, so you'll be ratchet periodically.
Huh?
You'll be ratchet periodically. You're not always ratchet. You
have
ratchet
apparently
and ratchet conversations.
I'm bringing
you said yourself that you have a problem behaving.
You said I'm bringing this on myself, so I'm going to stop it because when I have this conversation without this other shit, without the pro-blacks and all this bullshit, I don't have this happening. I don't. That's the great thing about my platform. I don't have this when I'm having a regular conversation. I don't.
You be melting down because of a chat room of people that don't know you.
I'm melting down because you telling me I should put it up. I told you let me keep on.
I didn't tell you should put it up. I say you should take it down. Stop.
No, you're telling me I should put yours up or take mine down. I'm telling you what I'm not doing.
Say that again. Say that again.
And if you can't respect that,
what did I ask you to do?
We could have continued to go on with the conversation.
Say that again. What did I ask you to do?
You said either put both up or take both down. And I told you not. Those people paid for it. You said it yourself earlier, and it's just my picture. It's not like all they see. It's not like on your replays, they will only see my shit. That's a lie. They will actually on your replays only see your comments on the side as it plays.
Those comments are consistent with people, according to you, that came over from you as well as my people as well, by your own admission. But the reality is, if we share a platform, we share it in equal capacity. Because I said I didn't mind if we funnel everything through you. I said I do not mind. So since that's the case, I'm at your disposal. So since you have changed the conditions, then what we'll do when we talk again, what we'll do is what I suggest what we do when we talk again is simply use no chat from the very beginning, since you can renege on your word, my brother, because you switch your word, my brother, and that's what I have a problem with.
I said word
because you let these chat people go to your brain.
You can broadcast at the same time. I'm not gonna let you say something else that was made up. When we started, you said, "Can you put my chat on the stream?" I said, "Sure." That's what I said. But when we were starting, I said, "No." I just broadcast. I can read the fucking chat and put it up there. I can read the text message. I'm not gonna let you do this. You do that to some other people, and I guess it's funny. That shit's irritating.
Text message, but we actually have a live video here where I asked you to put up both chats.
Oh no, I said to you. You said what I agreed to before we came on. What I agreed was you can broadcast it as much as you like, and I said, and then when I'm done, you can take what I have and put it up. I said that. I didn't say we're the whole thing, because if it was that way, we would have done it via Skype, because then you would have had the same thing on both screens. We don't have the same thing on both screens. My screen, my people see something completely different than yours. When you talk, there's nothing on the fucking screen. It's just you. When I speak, they see what my audience sees. So there's no way we can have the same thing. It's impossible unless you got on Skype and just shared what I have. Then you'd be correct, but that's not true.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'll wait for you to give me the name that you said both. Let's go for the one where you say you actually gave us a name of an article that you referenced earlier on. What was the name of the article that you referenced, and what was the name of the person who wrote the article? You can give me 1 out of 2. I don't even need 2 out of 2.
First, I referenced, and I'm going to give you several articles. Well,
no. Make sure it's something that you said during the course of this conversation. Don't just give me something new now. Give me the name of the article.
You said I never said it.
Oh, you never said it. But now this is the problem. Hold on, this is the problem. This is the problem. Let me show you the problem.
I'm not going to sit and argue to be arguing.
You're going to do it again, ain't you?
Bro, you gotta have a good day, man. I'm not doing.
You know, Tommy said that he gave a reference. yo, he think he's so slick. Don't worry, y'all, because when I edit the video, I'm going to show you how the man said, I gave you references. And his chat room stupidly said, he gave us references. And I let it slide. Then I said, you know what? Since y'all said he gave us references and I'm not giving a reference, all I gave was a reference that was relevant. It was a movie that employed satire based on political and topical issues. And topical issues, the key word is topical, because topical means that there's a relevancy to that which is being demonstrated or said in retrospect to things that transpire in the real world. It's the words I'm using going over these people's heads. So if a man says, I gave you a reference and he's debating me, and since he's debating me, he's attempting to either belittle me, undermine me, or simply win the debate based on a false accusation. Because he said, I've been giving you references. I gave you a reference. And he said this. So that would make me look bad, because then he says, and all you did was give me a movie reference. I said the movie employed satire was relevant to our conversation. So since that was the case, I said, now, since y'all, and I let them go. I said, man, I'm going to let it slide. I see the chat. I love the fact that the chat was talking. So now I went to his chat and I said, anyone in the chat care to tell me the name of the article that he referenced? Since people in his chat were saying Tommy gave references. So his chat room is so intelligent. His following is so intelligent that they were saying that he used references this whole time, because Tommy said, I gave you references, but I don't know if Tommy think I'm those crazy people that he normally debates. I know if this person gave me a reference or not. So I'm not going to be so much in the heat of debate. I'm going to allow a person to say they used the reference. Out their mouth, I use references. I gave you the writer. I gave you the author. I gave you the articles. And all you're using is the, I'm like, hold on, bro. I'm not going to let you sing that song for so long. You ain't give me a damn reference. You think you gave me a reference because you used to making up shit as you go. Now, it's okay for the current event hustlers to do what they do. He can talk about current events and break down whatever he want to break down, what's going on with royal weddings. And he could do all of that. But when you're dealing with Brother Polite, I'm sensitive to references. And if I say something about you, I have a reference for it to demonstrate what I mean and represent by it. So like I said, he's in love with those ratchet people he talks about. He's in love with those women he talk about. I was able to qualify what I meant through dictionary definition. Because love is predicated upon being affected, and being affected doesn't necessarily have to be something negative or positive. And I told him if he needs me to screenshot the definition, I can screenshot it and he can share it amongst his audience to make sure I'm not mangling or contorting the words, or I'm not using an acronym, which is to misappropriate dates, times, or other references to suit my cause in the middle of a diatribe. No acronyms. This is the problem when I have debates with people. Because I let you get away with a lot so you can hang yourself. And then I asked the man, did you say you gave a reference or not? Not then, he says. Not then. I didn't ask you when. Why are you saying not then? You need to pay attention to that. He knew he was in problems. He knew he had trouble because he started saying not then. Not then. I'm like, I never asked you. It wasn't a matter of time. Did you ever say it? Not then. Did you say it at all at any point in the conversation? Not then. How the hell is not then a good answer? For did you ever say it at any point in time? Yo, I'm telling you, man, I'm a force. When it comes to this stuff, I don't play games. You know, people are used to talking to people that's not sharp. And that's the problem. He's used to playing those games with these other people. I don't play those games. I'm not a part of those games. You know, I'm sorry. It don't work like that. And what he's going to do now is digress or defer our attention to the chat room and make that the point of focus, when the point of focus should simply be, did you give a reference or not? So later on, he says, no, I did not give a reference. And the reason he didn't give a reference allegedly was because I cut him off at some point. And, oh, so why did you say you did? And why is your chat room agreeing with you that you did? because you said you did. So your chat went along with it. And then I'm looking at the chat, go brain dead, because no one had an answer. So he had to quickly save his people, and he had to quickly save his ass by saying, Polite, your chat is messed up. And I'm like, come on now. And what he don't even realize, I'm trolling him at a point when I start telling him, put my chat room up, put my chat room up. Because all I'm going to do, once he gets all his emotion fixed on that conversation, I'm going to switch him back into the original gear. So what about that article that you said you had a reference for, that you now say you didn't have a reference for? Now, some of you may be saying, man, this was all BS. This was no, you can learn from this. Don't make checks that your ass can't cash. He put in a check and it bounced. He just said, hey, I gave you all these sorts of references. I'm like, yo, bro, stop that. You ain't giving no, you ain't going to get at my movie analogy or reference when I'm telling you the reason why it's relevant, because so many people seen it across America in general. So many people seen the movie Get Out. It attested to something that transpires in our community. It wasn't as deep as give me a reference to see if that piece of stone was actually excavated by this paleontologist or this archaeologist. Or it wasn't that kind of conversation. It was, have you ever seen, or give me a scenario where this happens with black men? Because his concept is black women are the only ones, for the most part, that want to be white. That movie comes from a mixed brother. My point exactly. So he's speaking from a place that he understands. And just because he's mixed, it doesn't mean he doesn't understand the concept of black people being lost in European culture. He actually, by design, demonstrated that fact artistically by employing satire to do so. And satire deals with political and topical issues. And topical issues are issues that are relevant to society in contemporary times, or even in archaic antiquity. It's just relevant. It has a social relevancy that everybody cannot ignore. And thus you also make us laugh. It's when you exaggerate, embellish a little, criticize in some capacity something that takes place that is connected to political or topical issues. And he employed satire artistically with brilliance when he showed how a black man can be so lost in European culture, almost to suggest that he's being hypnotized, which is where the exaggeration or the embellishment comes in. And then he snaps out of it and suddenly he's the brother. So we realize he was a dark-skinned brother behaving like a Caucasoid for whatever reason. It's a facts. So come on. It is very relevant to conversation. It was a subjective type of conversation. Have you seen this? It's not like we could go in people's minds and get DNA samples from their mind. It wasn't that kind of conversation. It was about social relevancy because it was a topical issue. So I was able to say, where's that idea coming from? People are laughing about that in the movie because it's socially relevant to things that we see transpire day to day. When I said my man John behaves like this, which I got a man John that does behave like that, he didn't realize the rhetoric in that. He didn't realize what I was saying to him basically is what you're asking for is something that we bear witness to on a social scale that we experience more times and less immediately than we can, to the point of saying, hey, let me document this matter. It's been documented in movies. The opinion's been documented by other people. It's a subjective conversation. It's not objective. If it's something concrete that we can test, that we can sample, we can reference, people digging it up, that's another conversation. This was a subjective argument. So the goal for me is to say how many people can relate to my point. In that movie, there's something that's addressed that many people find funny because it's a topical issue. It's just a fact. People got to wake up, man. You know, but I know the game because he does this all the time. I know the game. You know, he runs to the chat every time. He turns to, every time we going somewhere with the conversation, he has to blame the chat room with something. Every time he getting crushed again. You know, he runs every time he's getting crushed, he runs to the chat. Yeah, he does this every time. Yeah, that's what he does. And now he got to go in a I hate polite rant or tirade because guess what? This is what he does. He loses it every time. Every time I got a build, he loses it. You know, it's one thing to say what you want to say, but I'm gonna tell you what pisses people off. Because one thing about me, I don't gotta call him names. I ain't gotta do none of that. I don't gotta call nobody names to vindicate me or take me to the next level. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the logic is so real. Like when I was talking about sentential calculus and P implies Q and Q implies P, and if P implies R, then Q must also imply R. And that's the law of implication. That means it's not always going to be right. You can't take that and compare it to something else and say it's going to be right, because it's not always right all the time, even though it sounds like it makes sense. Then there's the instance where it's a law of double implication reversal, meaning no matter how you change the variables, it's always going to be locked in and it's always going to be right. It was not a matter of double implication reversal. This is logic. If the Knicks beat the Bulls and the Bulls beat the Lakers, of course, many would think, well, the Knicks should be able to beat the Lakers because the Knicks beat the Bulls and the Bulls beat the Lakers. So how could a team beat the team that they're about to play and they not be able to beat them? But there's other variables that we have to consider. Somebody might be sick. Somebody might have a different matchup that favors them better. The style is going to determine who wins. And even if one team wins that game, doesn't mean that team is destined to win against that team that they won against all the time, because it's several different variables. What he said made sense. What I said made sense. And both of them stands to reason to be accurate based on the context in which he took the conversation. Based on the context and how he felt offended and the general account of what love means and represents, I said I could accept that. But based on the actual meaning of the word love, which entails affection, and the meaning of the word affection, which in essence is to be affected in any capacity. At large. He is at large. He is immensely affected by negative Black women. And to be affected in the capacity in which he is affected by Black women denotes affection, and affection is inclusive of love. Problem solved. This is why we know some people love to hate you, because they are deeply affected by you when they shouldn't be if they didn't love you. To love someone or to love someone is to be deeply affected by them. And it doesn't have to be positive and it doesn't have to be negative. That's how real this gets. That's how real it gets. You see? You're talking to somebody, oh man, he's using words to trick. Nah, I ain't tricking you, bro. He said, this is how you feel about the word. And I said, I don't mind, but don't get mad at me when I tell you what the word means that you're using. I don't mind how you feel about a word. You got the right to feel the way you feel about a word based on your miseducation, based on popular meaning of the word, based on the connotation of the word, where people only want to use it that way when it denotes something positive, but affection doesn't have to be all-inclusive or exclusive to that which is positive. And that's not my fault. And that very affection is inclusive of love. So yes, if you find yourself constantly talking about somebody or constantly being affected by somebody to the extent that you're constantly talking about them, then you're in love with them by definition. And if there's any doubt, I'll show you what these words means if you don't find it by a dictionary reference, because I use dictionary references to use the language that I'm speaking to convey the messages I'm conveying. So ain't nobody going to tell me what I'm doing is not fair, because I'm using words properly, because we're speaking a language. And when all else fails, we're going to have to go to the reference from which these languages derive and the leading authorities to determine what these words mean, because we didn't make this language. I don't want to hear too much of how you feel about a word in the middle of a serious debate. So he's having a mental breakdown, as most people would, especially older than myself, because I'm sharp. I'm sharp, y'all. That's just what it is. No matter how much time I take off. I'm sharp. I don't play those games. It's what it is. Oh man, y'all funny. Facts. He always getting his feelings whenever it's a debate. What is he mad about? I'm not going to let him talk crazy about the people that are following me. And I'm not taking the credit for the people that may say something negative about him, which I don't see all the stuff he's talking about. Probably because some of it don't exist. Just like the reference he said he had that no longer existed when he said, well, I never gave one. So I'm like, bro, did you say you had a reference or not? Yeah. Where's the reference to the name? Where's the reference to the name of the article and the reference to the name of the person that wrote the article? Or you can give me 1 out of 2. Not you, Tommy. Don't worry about it. Let me get it from your audience. You know how antagonizing that is? Because if we would have waited for anyone in the audience to give that, and look what he did to escape. Look what he did. You know what he did to escape? He said, y'all just go out there, find some articles based on such. Nah. And you're mad at me because I don't accept that. Nah. So the 60-second clips we have to do on how he loves the black woman that he's mad about. We got to do that. And we also have to do the clip where he says he has the reference and he's been given references for articles to beat me in conversation, and then turns around and says he never gave one. All in the same conversation. Then when I asked about it, he says, not then. And I said, not then where? What does that mean? You got to know when you're dying in that motherfucker. So he need bail, abandon shit, jump shit, and start talking about the audience. He does this every time we have a debate and he starts losing footing. He starts talking about how people are saying mean things to him in the audience. And if my audience ain't there, he starts cursing out his audience for not donating. He does this in the middle of the conversation strategically, like we're losing it. But guess what? When you watch the replay, you'll clearly see when the man is losing it. You'll clearly see when he says, I gave a reference, and you're going to see how he feels. Look at how he looks. You can see into his soul when I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, Tommy. You don't got to tell them what you say. I know he ain't say nothing. But watch how I say, yo, Tommy, don't worry about it. You don't got to say nothing. Let's get at your chat and let's see if they can reference the article that you use. Well, I ain't never give a reference. Well, if you never gave a reference, why you say you gave a reference to belittle me? Because you said I ain't give no references. And you gave the reference. And the writer. And all the shit was made up and you think I was going to go along with it. So then it becomes, oh, you want to get at my chat? I'm going to get at your chat. No, your chat is lying with you. So now all of you are fools. If you thought I was going to. And y'all been fooled because dumb people in the chat really thought they heard an article in their brain because he said it. It was a sad situation. I'm the GOAT, and it was a sad situation. Sad. Yo, this is why I can't debate people, because you know, after I'm done, they got to get on their channel and start trashing me, saying all sorts of negativity, but they will not talk about the actual part of the debate where things go wrong. I'm talking about the part of the debate where it went to hell for him. Because once I catch you lying, once I catch you trying to cheat, once I catch you slipping, guess what? POLIGHT is going to use that over and over and over. You got to be strong enough mentally to keep the conversation going. But if you dare attempt to defer our conversation or our attention somewhere else, then what I'm going to do is constantly keep bringing you back to your embarrassing moment. And this is how every time I debate people in the black community, they don't ever want to deal with me again. Because after everything I said about the channel, guess what I said? So I still wait for the reference. I told you I ain't have it. So why did you say you have it in the first place? I'm not gonna let you slip until you admit you lied, nigga. You lied. You lied. Pardon the word, nigga. You lied. And you lied to make yourself look good. And then your chat room started lying for you to make you look good. And you had no problem when everybody got in on the lie until I said, name that quote. You should have put money on that. That's what I said. Put some money on that. The quote that you said you gave, about an article and the person that wrote it and the person that wrote it was black. We got all these facts except for the name of the article and the name of the person. But the person was black and you gave the reference for the article. We ain't got a name. We ain't got a human being. We just got speculations. You ain't got an article, but the person who wrote it was definitely black. All right, Tommy. And you want me to continue a dialogue with you? That's not respectable. Have some integrity when we have a debate, man. Don't be making up false references and then suggesting to us what was the race of the person who wrote the article, knowing damn well ain't no damn article, so ain't no damn race. And y'all expect me to go along with that? Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. The race of the person who wrote the article, oh, knowing damn well ain't no damn article, so ain't no damn race. Y'all expect me to go along with that? Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Yo, I gotta watch this shit over. I gotta watch it over. This guy's horrible. This is horrible. This is horrible. Nah, it wasn't about faking no debate. I said, let's get a point of contention that I could discuss. It wasn't about no fake debates. What part of this debate was fake to any of y'all? Y'all think any part of this debate was fake? People always say this stuff. I always tell people we have to engage the community. So make sure you and I is not siding with each other since we're calling it Polite versus Tommy Sotomayor or Tommy Sotomayor versus Polite. Since we're saying Tommy Sotomayor versus Polite, we can't be here just agreeing with each other because that's false advertisement. If people come in to see a debate, let's find out where the points of contention is. And what I'll do, I'll give you some ammo that you need and you can fire away because I said I heard other streams where you talked about me representing myself when it comes to those white women. So I said, if that be the case, I'll give you some ammo and you can pull it out whenever you want. The man never pulled it out. Now I'm going to tell you why he never pulled it out. Pause. I'm going to tell you why he didn't bring that content out. Because it's a lot different when you chastise somebody when they're not present as opposed to when they're present. I'm not a fool. I didn't forget when he did videos going at me for being with a white woman or standing with a white woman or taking pictures with a white woman or doing business with white. I said, yo, so today was the day. I'm like, yo, go ahead. Here's some ammo. Oh, I never saw that picture before. I said, yeah, go ahead. Pull it up, brother. Pull it up in the middle of the conversation and say the things you say. Say the things you say. Say the things you said. Keep your stance. I'll keep my stance. And let's see what happens when we have the conversation. We ain't disclosed exactly what the conversation would be about. We just wanted to get enough context so we know how to name it. So we're supposed to talk about integration. And he was supposed to put me on fire, I would believe, because I've heard things he said about me in the past when certain pictures went up. So I was prepared mentally. None of that is fake. The only thing we did was decide on what subject matter would be, and that was it. That ain't fake. That's just to say, let's make sure we have points of interest so we're not talking about what? The damn chat room all day. See? Simple stuff. But you know, this is who we dealing with. I ain't worried about his means, man. The debate is on this channel. Yeah, man, bring the people you think is worthy. But what you can't do in a debate is, one, tell me something is illogical. Once you start talking to me like what I'm saying is illogical, you better be prepared. Because I can break it down mathematically why what I said is logical. I can give you the law of the disjunctive inference, the law of the disjunctive inference, the law of the contrapositive, the law of implication, the law of double implication reversal, the law of contradiction. These are all mathematically demonstrated through sentential calculus. All mathematically demonstrated. If you use two is's and an and or in a sentence, what does that mean? I got it down to a science. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, but there's certain things you cannot say to me and me not go and my mental Rolodex bow. I know what you just did. And I know the time to get you on it. Hold on, Tommy. Let me talk to the chat real quick. He sat there and he listened. And then he realized, because he caught on slow, he realized, man, this is making me look bad. No one can name the references I said that I had because I didn't name no references. By the time he realized what was going on, he made it a conversation about the chat rooms. When I went for his chat room, I was going for him. He just doesn't catch this because his debate etiquette ain't there. He used to deal with a different breed of people. I'm trolling him when I'm talking. Oh, hold on, Tommy, you good. You're safe. I put him to sleep. Let me talk to your chat room. Not you, Tommy, you good. Let me talk to your chat room about the references that you gave. Okay. Now, how silly is that, Tommy? You ain't give no damn references. You know, Martin, Tommy, you ain't got no damn job, man. Tommy, you ain't got no references, man. You ain't got no damn references, Tommy. How the hell you gonna wait for me to talk to your chat room about the references you came up with? And you ain't had no references from day one. It's okay. He could talk to me about the big words. It's clear he didn't understand them because he wouldn't have found himself in X amount of traps. I know when someone's just shaking their head, yeah, acting like they understand what I'm saying. Don't do that in a debate. Do not do that in the debate. Do not, just ask, what does that mean? Now, I'm a convict. I'm using big words. I'm also using mathematics. I guess there's big mathematics too, right? Don't say I'm using big words because it denotes a certain level of stupidity when someone complains that you're using big words. Because there's small words that's also considered big words to people, you know, because there's small words that's not commonly used in our community as well. And they get misinterpreted and misconstrued as big words. See, when I said satire, he should have not even had a conversation, but he's going to debate me. So now I had to break down satire. But when I said topical issues, I said, oh man, he probably don't know what topical means because he's still arguing with me. You see how this works? Every time I use one word, I use another word to define a word. He don't know the word I'm using to define that word. Yo, Ned, I'm going to tell you what happened. Now, real quick, we're debating. And so his thing was, he switched what the debate was about. I love the fact that this is all recorded. He switched what the debate was about. I always go with it when people switch because they think it's going to make it better. But what they don't realize is one lie deserves another lie, which deserves another lie. One lie will beget another lie, which will beget another lie. Because I pay attention to the conversation and I got a crazy memory, I know when you switch in the subject matter. And all I'm going to do once I know it's recorded, because one thing I've learned, if you argue with a fool, always keep it recorded. Or two, always have the conversation amongst many. Or three is the best. Guess what three is? The combination of 1 and 2. Have it recorded and have the conversation in front of many. Because now all I got to do is go back and reference every time you lied during the conversation. I can reference when you change your question. And then I can show it. Look, he changed the question. And all you're going to do is call me names. Get at me because I use big words, but you're not going to address the elephant in the room, which was you keep switching conversation whenever you get caught out there. And you keep blaming the chat whenever you get caught out there. And once I know your tactics, because I dealt with him long enough, I know exactly when he's going to explode. And I decide if Tommy's going to explode this conversation or if he's not. It was my decision to decide. Because I'm working him. I'm cooking him. Let me show you how I cooked him. Let me show you how I cooked him. So funny. Let me show you real quick. Yeah, we're going to still go out. Let me show you how I cooked them. I read the text. You see how good I am? I know you came down here to see that. Now that you're here and I got you, hold on, listen to me, please. This is important. And let me get a watermelon while you at it. So let me get a piece of watermelon. So let me show you how I get this guy. He changed the narrative to this conversation is about Black women who want to be like mixed women. And have you ever seen a Black guy want to do that? So, you know, naturally, I want to be facetious and say what Black men want to be like mixed women, but I didn't do that. I let him keep talking. So he says, no, we're talking about have Black men ever shown us that they want to be like another mixed man, like how these Black women want to be like this mixed woman. Well, first of all, I had to make it clear, I'm not making no generalizations. I never said that he said, you've been saying all Black women, you've been generalized. I said, that's not true. I've been talking about the women, definite article. See, memory sharp. Talking about the women. That was the topic of discussion, not all Black women. And so since there was a discrepancy, I'm glad you verbalize or vocalize your discrepancy. I'm almost saying everything I'm saying right now verbatim. And since there was a discrepancy, I am glad. That's how I stopped that insanity. It's all right if you misunderstood something I said. And now that it's been brought to my attention, let me give you clarity. I am not talking about all black women. So whether you thought I was or not, I made it clear for the record. I was under the pretense this whole time I was conducting this diatribe that I was not making a generalization. Glad you said that. Somebody else might have been thinking that too. Hard to debate somebody who talk like that and articulate themselves. Now, the question then becomes, are we talking about mixed people who want to be white or mixed people that want to be black in order for me to answer your question? He said, we're talking about mixed people. He had to think about it. Why is he asking this? Because his mind's going to go frantic. One, his mind is going to ask, why is he asking me this? He must have got a reason. Two, his mind is going to then say, well, I got to stick with what would make sense to say. The fact he's taking so long to think, I know I got him on the ropes, because it shouldn't be something to think about. You're the one that asked the question. You should know what your question is about. The fact you're thinking means I got you scary. You're scary. So I'm like, oh, that's like when you're playing ball, you see a person's legs trembling, you know they're afraid they're going to get embarrassed because this person got a handle and been scoring on them, laying up on them, and making them look bad. So as a killer, when I smell blood, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you in deep water and dribble and bring it back because I know you shook. So when I see a person thinking about something that they shouldn't have to think about because this is what you postulated before me, then I know, oh, it's about to end. This program is about to end. Because he was a lot more sharper at the beginning. Guess what I look like I was doing at the beginning? I look like I'm not listening. I'm like this. Where's you eating your food, brother? No, I find my time and I do it. I put him to sleep. He think I ain't listening. He don't realize this is part of the strategy. He think he's going to slip little things in there and I'm not paying attention. Because I put people to sleep. Because a tape recorder cannot record and play at the same time. So I got to be quiet to hear what he's saying so I can pick his argument apart. He didn't know the debate was on when I was eating. He thought I went to sleep. Okay. So now I say, is this about, and y'all should learn this for debate purposes, is this a conversation about black people want to be like mixed people that want to be white? See, now I'm getting so specific about what we're talking about. He had to think about what the hell he was talking about. Because this is his question. I'm making more sense out of this nonsense. It says about mixed people who want to be white and the black people that won't follow. Oh, so basically we're talking about black people who want to be white. See how logic goes? Little does he realize that's P implies Q, Q implies P, P implies R, so R must imply P, R must imply Q. He doesn't realize. Now it's a matter of, is this going to make sense all of the time or only on certain instances? Is this the law of implication or double implication reverse? This was like I got to go through every time. This is a syllogism. Syllogistically speaking, we have two premises and a conclusion. Each subject and predicate is accompanied by each other per each sentence. With that, we need two predicates, two subjects, one conclusion. When we got that together, now we need to know if it's exclamatory or declarative or interrogative statement. I got to go through all these different things before I answer this question because I'm like this. I'm sizing up the whole conversation because this is what I do. This is why I don't be debating Negroes, because I really put effort into strategy in order to communicate my thoughts, to make sure I'm on point, I'm tactful. So you say we talking about black people who want to be like mixed people. My question is, do these mixed people want to be white or do they want to be black? The reason why I need to know that, because I need to understand the black people that want to be like them. So do black people want to be like mixed people who want to be black? That would have been weird, right? But if black people want to be like mixed people, according to him, that want to be white, then what they're interested in is the privilege more so than the race. Now, if you say black people want to be like white people, then they're interested in being the race and all the other things inclusive, because they may not even like the way they look. Plus, they also want the privilege and so forth and so on. But if a black person wants to be like a white, like a mixed person that leans towards white, that is accepted in culture, then they're more interested in privilege, which is where that conversation would have went. And I would have had him decode his own rationale. But he couldn't endure long enough because he was in deep waters from the time he realized the concept he put forth. I made it deeper than he knew it was, because to assert something like that transcends race is more about privilege. Facts. Because why on earth would a person want to be like someone to get to the other race when they could just want to be like that race directly? They say they want to come through and become friends with the mixed person so they can hang out with the people that's part of their white privilege. He's saying they want to be like the mixed person. So, so these people don't want to be white. They want to be mixed. So that means they still like being black to some extent. If this is your point, black people still like being black. But your point early on is black people want to be white. And now you're telling me about black people who want to be mixed. Which I could only conclude two different things from that. Because a black person that wants to be mixed is someone who's more interested in the privileges, but still wants to keep some portion of their identity intact. But a black person that wants to be white, they're suffering from something totally different. I would not put them in the same category. But he don't think that far. He just says things. He says things. Yo, her weed don't smell good. This is your conversation. Her weed don't smell good. And when I say, yo, bro, you don't open me up to a whole new world. He was so proud of himself. And I said, you open me up to a whole new world. So watch the next thing he did, which is where the explosion comes. He said he was giving me references to that same conversation I was just having with him in the first place. Which, of course, he didn't. He said he got the article. He then gave me articles. He then gave me the writers. He said all this crap. I said, interesting. And I gave the movie. And I told him why I gave the movie. Because this is subjective. It's not objective. It's not something we can dig up. It's not something we can test. We can't get a pH test on it. We can't drop something and tell if it's acidic or liquid or base. It's not that. This is subjective in meaning. It's what I interpret. And that interpretation is going to be a culmination of different experiences I had immediately associated with media and certain education or input given by other people, channels, or venues. It's subjective. So because it's subjective, I got the right to reference a movie. He endeavors to belittle me because I use a movie. But I can stand on why I use a movie because the movie employed satire. And guess what? The director is mixed. That was not by accident why I used the movie. The director is mixed. And he spoke to something that we all can attest to, hence the reason we laughed. And that's why the key word is satire, because he exaggerated or embellished on a political or topical issue such as race in respect to black people, particularly men in this instance, who lose themselves for whatever reason in the diaspora due to indulging in too much white culture day to day. And it's almost as though they're hypnotized. But if you can get through to them, you will see the contrast and they will become completely black all over again. Or they have instances in time where they become black all over again. And then they revert back to the white man stuff. It was actually accurate. But I realized satire was over the head and topical was over the head. So here it goes. This was the problem. I let all of this go down. I let it all go down. And then I say, yo, Tommy, hold on. Let me actually chat something. No, you good, Tommy. You good. I want to actually people in your chat something. Because the people in chat now, they were like, Tommy done gave references. Tommy done gave references. I've been seeing it. Tommy Wright, he gave references. This nigga used a movie. I'm watching it, right? I said, this is cute. Because I let enough time go by for the guy to think I was going to let him get away with that. You can never say the word reference to me and think I'm not going to turn around. What's the name of the author? What's his background? You know me. I talk about researching the authors. I would know if I got an author's name. If he says an article, I've been here before with Tommy when he came up with fraudulent information. So if I want the name of the article. So I would know if you gave me an article. So for him to be so boastful to say, hey, I gave references and he gave you writers and you just gave me a movie. And doesn't even realize the fact that I picked amongst all people a person that was mixed race, that was director. He don't even see how many layers. Because if I would have kept going, you would have saw why I picked him and how he was my reference for the very thing that he was suggesting. To the contrapositive, I would have beat him in that if he didn't have a mental breakdown. If he didn't have a mental breakdown, I would have spoke to that director's personal account of him dealing with biracial, mixed race issues, integration issues. But first, My segue was the movie, so he can make fun of me for having a movie reference. I got layers to my conversation. People can't even survive it because they start losing it before I get to the deep of it. Because if you let me go, I was going to cut them deep. Like, yo, hold on. Now, the article that you're looking for or the interview that I can give you is from the very director that is mixed. Now, one thing that he got right was that the director was mixed. I said, that's very good for Tommy. But I think he realized that was very bad because he probably sensed, then if this guy can just randomly pick somebody that's mixed, that did a movie that everyone could identify with, that used satire to demonstrate his point. And the satire that was employed was about topical issues and political issues associated with race, particularly in the case of people losing themselves when they get into European culture. And it happens to be men because his conversation was, this only happens to women. I'm sure he had a breakdown at some point and said to himself, this nigga is a fucking nut. And he's put too much thought into this conversation in too little time. I'm sure, because he's been here before with me, where he starts realizing, you ever see a comedian do a joke and later on, 10 minutes later, the joke comes back out of nowhere, and 15 minutes later, the joke comes back out of nowhere, and when he closes the show, the damn first joke still comes back out of nowhere. That's how I am when it comes to this information. The joke is on people because they think I ain't listening, and then at some point in the conversation, you realize it's all coming full service. This dude ain't just mentioned the movie for no reason. The director of the movie was actually mixed. It actually happens to be a man. I was saying men don't experience it. What the hell is coming next? So, watch this. I say, yo, Tommy, don't worry about it. I just want to talk to your chat real quick. You know, his ego. Yeah, talk to my chat. He sits there and he listens to me ask the chat. So, yeah, y'all said that Tommy's been giving references, and I only gave a movie reference. Now, mind you, I had a reference that was going to come from the director, him being a mixed race child. It was going to be very relevant to conversation. But first, I segue with the movie because I know people are so ignorant. They will belittle me because I use a movie reference. And I had the right to because it was subjective, the conversation, not objective. But anyway, I say, yo, since y'all say he's been giving me references and gave me articles and gave me the author, since all of you are agreeing with him because Tommy said this, I'll wait. Can anyone in your chat room, Tommy, I'm waiting for you. No, not you, Tommy. Calm down, Tommy. Just a chat. I'll wait for somebody in your chat room to give me the name of the article that you referenced, that you said you referenced, or even the name of the author. Look how silly Tommy is. He sat there and he waited for his people to give him something he said he gave that he himself know he didn't. He eventually snapped out of it and realized he's not attacking my audience. He's attacking me because I don't care about the audience stuff like that. He realized this is not an attack against the audience. Oh, shit. I'm looking stupid as this goes down because every minute that goes past that no one writes the name of the article and no one writes the name of the author, it starts becoming clear that I never gave an article or an author, but I sure did say I did. Polite's playing me. So I get you on so many layers, I couldn't even get to my point of reference for the director. And that's what makes me upset out of everything because I had more. But it's so many layers people don't know, man. It's gotta be reading too much, man. People who really think they can appreciate the conversation. This was more than some chat room conversation or chat room argument. And this is why I can't even deal with brothers and sisters in the community like that when it comes to this. Yeah, he got very short attention span. Yeah, he's wild. No, it's watermelon. It's wild, man. Tommy definitely started doing the running man. Yeah, he just rather be content. He in love with those women. I proved it. I actually proved that Tommy Sotomayor is in love with black women today. The black woman he so-called hates. And that's why it's a thin line between hate and love, because hate is inclusive of affection. And affection, let me show y'all something. Let me do this. Let me show y'all something. Do this. I'm gonna share the screen and we close out with this. Let me show you. I don't make this stuff up. Okay. Let's look at this word love. Let me show you. I don't make this stuff up. Okay. Now look at this. Look at this for me. An intense feeling of deep affection. That's love. An intense feeling of deep affection. Let's look up the word affection. Let's go ahead. Where it says, okay, gentle feeling of fondness or liking, right? Archaic, the act or process of affecting or being affected, which makes sense. Hence the word affection. Think about it. The word affect is in there. So it's the act or process of affecting or being affected. Okay? A mental state, an emotion, a condition of disease. Okay? Affection of the skin. I know you're thinking of infection. Okay? So, process of affecting or being affected. Now, if we go to the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, you're going to see they put being deeply affected. So, we could, yeah, I mean, this is so crazy. So it's an intense feeling of deeply being affected. So it makes sense if you go to Merriam-Webster dictionary, because it says being deeply affected is one of the definitions. But it makes sense because even here it's corroborated because they use the word deep here, affection. And we know affection is what? The process of affecting or being affected. It's legal. So Tommy is so affected deeply by the black women that he says he loathes, that it stands to reason he actually loves them because he's deeply affected by them. Not mildly, but deeply affected by them. I've heard what he said about his mother. I don't like it. He is deeply affected by his mother. And so I know he loves his mother because he's deeply affected by it. Anytime you're deeply affected by anyone, it means you have a certain level of love for them, because you wouldn't get to the deep part, which is always focused when you're talking about affection. Okay? Yeah. So he loves those women. No, I don't love them. Yeah, you love them. You're wrong. I just prove I'm right. Unless you're going to say you're not deeply affected. And then we're going to go into the word deep to make sure. And we're going to use some synonyms just in case. We want to make sure we don't make no mistakes about what's taking place so we can make sure we are absolutely right. And this is how you deal with people. Polite. By your logic, the Nazis love the Jews. Yes, why not? If they are deeply affected, I don't know what's wrong with people. And this is what I'm saying. I don't get it. And the reason why I don't get it because people don't get it. If I show you where the reference is coming from, and this is what the words mean, this is called cognitive dissonance. You're in conflict with the truth versus how you want to feel. You want to feel like you know what the word love means. But if I show you it's about deep affection, and then we look up the word affection, and we see the process of being affected. So if you are deeply affected by someone, the fact that you are deeply affected by them tells you there's some love there. And that's why they say it's a thin line between love and hate. Because hatred is about being deeply affected too. Any form of deep affection, any type of you being affected by someone deeply or greatly or immensely, means by definition, you love them. You have love for them. They may love you. I don't know. But if someone doesn't deeply affect you, then you have no love for them. You have no concern for them. See? Second, you start getting all emotional about stuff, or you go on rants, so people know you as the guy that's always talking about black women, that means you love those women because you're deeply affected by them. No one said it had to be positive. So why are you saying these things, mister? The guy that's here in the chat, so that means the Jews, the Nazis love the Jews. Yeah, they were deeply affected by them. Did you not hear the definition? All you got to do is think about it. Many times people say they hate each other, they actually love each other, or they used to love each other, now they hate each other because we find that they're one and the same, just varying in degrees on the pole. There's no opposites. It's a matter of polarity. It's a matter of polarity. Take time out to investigate these things before you disagree with people that know better. Yeah, I was debating. Thank you, bro. Far East. Thank you, Far East. I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I was busy debating. Yeah. Send a black man to me for me to debate them and watch how they just lose their mind and emotion. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm having a good time. I'm picking you apart because I know your weakness. Your weakness is to be proven wrong before these people that you don't know. Your weakness is if somebody come in the chat and say some things that you don't like, it deters you. Your weakness is, or your scapegoat is, if you realize you're getting defeated, you start going to defer our attention to the chat room. And hopefully this thing will buy. And guess what I do? I'll entertain it. No, not my chat. Yeah, your chat. Not my chat. Yeah, your chat. Not my chat. Yeah, your chat. Oh, yeah, by the way, brother, when we done, can you give us the name of that article that you said you had the name of? The chat. Oh, not my chat, your chat. Not my chat, your chat. Yeah, brother, by the time you're done, you think you could give us the name of the author of the person that wrote the article? I know you said they're black. At least we got that much information. Not that chat, your chat. Come on, Tommy. You do this all the time. Yo, how you don't see the setup? He goes through this all the time with me. I pick him apart, and then I stay on the part where he got picked apart at because he think he's slick. He think he gonna say something that's gonna have me so bedazzled that I ain't gonna remember where you was off at. No, bro, we're gonna revisit right where you was off at. We're gonna continue this conversation right where you messed up until you acknowledge that you messed up, acknowledge that you lied, acknowledge that you was trying to be slick. Pardon the word, try, attempted to be slick. Did you say that at any point in time, Tommy? Not then. What do you mean by not then? That has to hurt. It's like I'm talking to a child now. Like, yo, hold on. Now the new question is, what do you mean by not then? I asked you if you said this at any time in our conversation, and you said not then. I'm tripping. I got the right to pick you apart when you start doing that. This is the debate. This is when you can't keep your arms up because we're in the 8th round. And you were swinging so hard. You thought I was just eating, not paying attention. You were swinging so hard, you thought I wouldn't be paying attention to you. I told you at one point or the other, I will turn up on you. You better be prepared for the storm. All you got to do is just do right by the conversation. And don't get overwhelmed when it starts getting tricky. Don't go J.R. Smith on us and start running damn near to the half-court line because a few seconds left and you're going frantic because the ball's in your hand. What do I do? What do I do? Don't get frantic on us now. He got blocked for asking for the article. Jamila Womack. That's funny. Man, I go on whoever's podcast, if they sensible, practical, if it's a nice forum, people value information, or if I'm just feeling in a mood where I'm like, you know what, this person's always talking crazy. Let me play with it if I got some free time. It's a number of different things. It depends, you know. But like I said, Black people are gonna do the name calling and all that crazy talk when they get defeated mentally. But they won't address the facts of the matter. Now, I could see if I was making up this article thing. I have to fall back. I can see if I didn't switch the subject matter and act like I didn't. I have to fall back. Well, all of this is recorded. Well, what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with that? The man is pissed off for all the wrong reasons. You're mad that you attempted to change the narrative, and I allowed you to do so. And the narrative that you changed to was worse than the original one that you had. You was gonna lose in any one of the two, but you lost that one. So now the conversation has to be about, you know what he wanted to do, you know what he was going to do, you know what we discussed. But that doesn't change the fact you lied, Tommy. You lied. And not only did you lie, everybody else started lying with you because they believed in you until I asked them, since y'all know this article he beat me up with, what's the name of it? Since y'all know the author that wrote the article, what's the name of the author? Because he said he's black. Guess what, guys? When he said he gave the reference, he didn't. And if he didn't, what are y'all agreeing to? Y'all lying too. How he get y'all to be so dumb? And I hate to say the word dumb to people, but that's just dumb. You guys are saying he's winning an argument based on articles that he referenced and based on the author of the article that he referenced that happens to be black. And he never even mentioned an actual article, title, or name, and then comes out his mouth and says it. I never mentioned one, but then comes out his mouth and says, at what time you talking about? Which one that I mentioned? Then it also comes out his mouth, says he gave an article. How can all three be possible? How can all three be possible? And you want me to talk about something else, Tommy? No, I'm gonna talk about what you're lying about. That's how debate works. Catch your ass lying. If this was a political debate and we was out here running for president, once we catch your ass in one of those scandals, we gonna burn that shit down to the ground. We gonna come up with that every day. We got a debate. We gonna deal with it, and you better be able to deal with it too, and just say, man, it's true. Yeah, you got to go back and watch the debate. You'll love it. Fired up. Thanks. He's in his chat room, man. People aren't donating. That's that man's business. You know, this is what he on. This is what he does. You know, I don't be on YouTube too much, but when I'm on here, I get it in. So again, I thank y'all very much for a great time. It's 12 midnight. Wow. I didn't even know. I thank y'all for a good time. I had a full day. Play ball with my baby girl. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, brother_POLIGHT. If you're interested in the mentorship program, make sure you go to brotherpolight45 @gmail.com, brother, pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. The number is 45 @gmail.com. And for the Instagram, go to brother_POLIGHT. It's fun. I like debating, man. I have a good time debating. It's mad fun. Just sad because people don't want to be your friend after. The man called me up to do the damn debate. I said, I'm down. Once I come back from the museum with my daughter, I was en route to go into the museum. I said, I'll come back, watch the game, and I have to cook for the family. And I made sure I didn't jump on until I finished cooking, which was actually at 8:11. I finished cooking officially 8:11, 8:10. And I got on at about 8:12 or 8:15 when we started the stream. No doubt. Thanks for following all the platforms. I am Finnessy. Yeah. It always get emotional when I deal with him, man. It's okay, he an emotional being. I don't mind. If you like someone talking about your daughter, but your niggas talking about Tommy's. Let me tell you something. First of all, if someone's talking bad about someone's daughter, that don't mean that that's my supporters. Because if that was my supporters, when I'm doing streams, they would be blurting that crap out when he's not on it. That's just not it. So chill out with that foolishness. This is what he has to say to drive people crazy. And then when we look into the chat room, we look for it, we don't see it. They're out to destroy my life. They're out to kill me. They're out to, bro, you on YouTube too long if you feeling like that, man. Take a vacation so you can handle this. Because this is the virtual world. People going to say bad things while you're talking. It happens. You got to deal with it if you're going to be on these platforms. They're not all just looking to destroy your life. Some of them just want to get in your head. They feel offended by you, so they want to offend you too. And they feel like they're winning every time you do that. Word to the wise and the unwise. Don't identify with the trolling, and it will subside after a certain point. You're entitled to a certain amount of trolls because you have a certain amount of viewers. It comes with the territory. You can't keep acting like you're new to this. It's not going to stop. I don't like people saying bad things about people's children, but to switch it, yeah, you don't have a problem with them speaking bad about me. This is your reason why it makes sense for your chat room to stay up and mine's to stay down, because mine's is all bad and yours is all good, right? No, you're not going to belittle the people who don't want to go on your platform, who'd rather be on my platform. You're not going to belittle them and tell them they can't exchange ideas and interact with each other because you're emotional about people attacking you. And all you have to do is say, polite, there's a person by the name of such and such. I just saw something there. Please block them. Because I blocked somebody during the course of the program when he mentioned something. You don't like the booty hole stuff and everything. After a while, start wondering, why is he driving you so crazy? If that's not what you're about, leave it alone, brother. Yeah, none of us seen any of the comments he claimed. And guess what? When the stream's over, I'm going to take the time out to look at these comments in the chat. And let's see if we see any of the comments that he claims, especially when he claims it's going down. Let's see it. Because these comments stay here and they're synchronized with the conversation. And you'll see how much game Son got, because he does this every time this conversation. He got mad game. Mad game. all to avoid the fact you lied about references, dog. Like, come on, bro. You ain't got to start making it a conversation about chat. Yeah, you caught me slipping, P, and laugh, man. We can laugh. You wouldn't even look that bad if you laughed about it. Like, yeah, you caught me slipping. Slip of the tongue. I said I did and I didn't. And then I saw it might work to my advantage. I thought you didn't realize it, so I kept pushing it. And then, damn, when I realized you realized, I got caught. Say that. You see, you laugh it off. You shrug your shoulders. Yeah, you still a dirtbag for it, but you know we can laugh and move forward because there's nothing I can do because you admitted to it. So what I'm gonna do? Beat a dead horse. All right, y'all. So I'm out of here. Peace, family. Oh, let's definitely review the playback. We should do a whole video on the playback. I'm gonna get the time markets. We're gonna have a good time. In fact, no matter what I do, the next time I get on YouTube, we're gonna play some of this back and enjoy ourselves. You know what I feel like doing too? I feel like playing back several people's videos who say stupid things while I'm debating them, just to show you, like, yo, It don't be me. Maybe I should do some Polite's greatest hits and just let it burn so people can see, like, look, it don't be me. When they start trolling me for months after, that's because it was me, actually. Let me take it back. It was the debate, and they play it back in their mind because they like, okay, I'm popular, people listening to me. And man, this guy didn't talk about my family. He didn't call me a bunch of names. He stuck with the subject matter, and that was his point of contention. No one can say my point of contention was anything outside of the subject matter. And you're telling me where your insecurities are. When you say, oh, he's using big words, so I know that bothers you. And when I know that bothers you, I give you more. Debate, strategy. Robert's Rules of Conduct. I tell you how the books to read to get into this. I tell you sentential calculus. I tell you how to build your mind and your conversation to the point, if you want to debate people and you don't want to get caught out there, because I do it just so I can speak more logically and be more rational and less emotion that demonstrates a lack of discipline. Emotion is okay. The emotion that demonstrates a lack of discipline when confronted with adversity is not okay for debate's sake. Might be okay for something else. It's not okay for debate's sake. Facts. He was using a lie to cover up a lie. Okay, y'all. You can't have a moderator for Tommy, man. Because when he get caught out there lying, what are you gonna do? He wants the chat room in there so he can always divert. That's why I said we talk. Anytime we talk again, no chat room there. That's fair. But you're not gonna create this concept that people that follow me will come to the conclusion that they have to speak in such a grotesque, negative manner towards you. You're not gonna accredit that to me. So we gotta shut your people down. Who said those are my people? I don't even know these people that you're talking about. And I haven't even seen those comments that you make mention of. And the people in my chat are saying they don't see those comments either. But he's actually beefing like they exist. And I've been here before where I replayed all the chat comments, and my family and I both read each comment, and we saw none of them existed that he said did. But he portrayed real anger about the comments that didn't exist. So I realized what I'm dealing with. So when I come into it this time, I really won't be beguiled by this stuff. I just sit there and say, man, I hope he's telling the truth this time because he lied last time. And in the middle of him lying about that last time, he also lied about the references and he lied about what his question was. Yeah. That wasn't my question. My question was, okay, we'll see. You're going to put the Puff Daddy remix on it. I didn't say that. I said this. We'll see if you're lying. You can call me a bunch of names all you want, but what you won't do is debate me and misappropriate dates, times, or occurrences. Be they relevant to conversation or historically relevant, doesn't matter. That misappropriation will be dealt with. I don't care about what's going on in your personal life. I don't want to talk about your daughter or daughters. I don't want to talk about your wife or your wives or your girlfriends. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what we came here to debate about. And if you mess up in the middle of debate, I'm on you. I'm on your heels. I'm on your neck. Pause. Boots on your neck. That it works. Salute, love you all. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah. The more I understand about the person that I'm about to debate, the more I understand the person I'm about to debate, the easier it is to pick them apart. Easy. Definitely a great debate. It was fun. What's sad? The people in Tommy's chat room won't even apologize for agreeing or cooperating his lie. It's like, no, don't talk to me about nothing else but the fact that you guys were going along with a lie, either on purpose to be deceptive, or you just were so idiotic you just presume he must be telling the truth. And we so interested in tearing down Polite and making him look stupid and calling me stupid, calling me an idiot, calling me a jackass. Look at this dumbass. See, they said all of that. And I said, who's the dumbass? You said that he referenced something he never said. And you think I'm going to be affected by you calling me names? The only idiot is the one taking on a reference that didn't even exist and stressing how black the person was that wrote the article. I'm like looking at these people in the comment section like, yo, they're just as crazy as he is. And the fact that you got people saying your people talk about his kids, I don't know nobody that's talking about his children. So when you say your people, you mean the people who come in the chat room? That means everybody that comes into my chat room is my people. That's how I know he's dealing with some real people that are suffering from mental health. Because a person's in my chat doesn't make them my people. It makes them people who wanted to come view. Because guess what? If someone comes into Tommy's chat and disrespects him, I'm sure y'all say that's not Tommy's people because he's disrespecting Tommy. So why can't the same person come into my chat and disrespect Tommy? How come they got to be my people because they're on my chat, but they're on his channel, he'll block them? So when they're on his channel, is it his people because they was on his channel and he had to block them? Nonetheless, that still makes them his people. See, the logic of the people that follow this guy, they have the same logic he be having. So if someone's on the chat, that's your people. So when they're on your chat, Tommy, are they your people even though you got to block them? Because I block them all the time when they come to my chat. So when they come to my chat, they're my people. When they go to your chat, they're not your people. See how convenient that argument is? But that's for people suffering from a psychosis. There's something going on up there to make you feel like these polite people saying this. The whole time I've been dealing with you for the last year and change. Was it my people bothering you? No, it wasn't until I started to debate you today that it became my people saying these things. But these are people you were in conflict with the whole time who come on your channel. Various different names, various different accounts. Those are not my people when they're on your channel. By your logic, those are your people when they're on your channel because whoever's on whoever's channel is their people. See how silly that idea is? You see how silly that notion is? So, Rulia Farley, though, the whole concept, well, we'll get you out of here for being slow. This is too slow. You got to speed up. And we can get you out of here. Too slow. And that's what I said. But he's so emotional. I told him, I said, bro, you use so much vulgarity. And the way you cast your negative views about other brothers and sisters, particularly sisters, the way you disrespect the people if they don't give you X amount of bread, it's like you're gonna bring those type of mentalities that disagree with you as you bring the mentalities that agree with you. Because the type of people that disagree with you will be similar to the way you think and talk. They will curse a lot too. They will say vile, disgusting, derogatory things with disregard to your family too. Because when you talk about these black women the way you do, these people are attached to families too. They got family members that love these black women that you showcase so often. And if you realize that these black women have a problem that you're talking about, you shouldn't treat people with a problem like that. But you certainly do, despite the fact that that's someone's daughter, despite the fact that that's someone's sister, despite the fact that someone's lover, despite the fact that's just a woman in general. So, with the same hurt and anguish you give them or you spew at them, people feel like they should do that and maybe even more. And still, that doesn't make people licensed to say something bad about your children. But certainly, you must understand that the way you vehemently disagree with people will inevitably warrant or impel people of the same kind of mentality to speak about you in the same manner in which you speak about others because you disagree with their lifestyle or approach. That's that law of attraction. I'm not saying your children should be talked about. I'm just saying that's what you're going to attract in the form of negativity, the way people talk about you. Because you talk about people like that, not their children. He's a grown man. You should know this by now, Tommy. You should know this by now. Mhm. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Appreciate you. Love you. Gonna get back into my world of good food. I'm about to be up and get the second dish. See the family keep coming downstairs, taking food and going upstairs. I keep hearing all the different rooms. The doors keep closing. Do, 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 do. I make sure I got some food left. Peace to the family. Love y'all so much.